the fuck out of nigga line. Hey, don't swear, hey, don't swear. Push line.
All right. Here we go. No Games, Just Business podcast, episode 13. What's up, people? I'm Darius. I'm here with my cousin Jimmie. What's up, Jimmie? How you feeling? How you living?
Feeling good, living good. Monday, fun day. Let's get it going, man. It's the start of a new week. We're gonna run it down with some sports today, just football. I'm ready to go get it going with y'all. It's gonna be real juicy as always. What's up, Don? How
Yes,
y'all?
sir. We got Don in the building. What's up, Don?
Good, man. Living. Can't complain.
That's what's up.
We got some good topics this week, man. We had some good football. Vikings, Bills, game of the year. That might be number one right there.
Yeah.
And speaking of the Bills, what we got on the rundown today? What we got,
Start
Jimmy?
with them Bills. We're gonna start with them Buffalo Bills. Over who? Who are you taking over the Buffalo Bills? We'll chop it down, run it down, AFC, NFC, and in between. And we'll talk about this team because they just went from number one in their division to number 3 in their division. We'll properly rank them amongst our perspectives, and from there we'll go into Odell Beckham Jr.'s return. The return of OBJ, a sensational talent. Box off, might I add. And from there, we'll talk about the veterans. We'll talk about the veterans and the struggles that the Matt Ryans, the Russell Wilsons, Tom Brady's, the Aaron Rodgers are going through. And will teams in the future, will they potentially, trade those assets in order to acquire those older guys outside their prime? From there, we'll talk about three teams that are set up for failure down the line. 3 teams that we're gonna have to poo-poo on for a little bit here because they're not doing what they need to do for their franchise, for the fans in the stands. And from there, we'll go into the mid-season player awards and then the final predictions for those awards as well. That's going to be a good one. There's a lot of guys that are making a name for themselves early on in their careers, and there's a lot of guys that are that are new guys. We can talk about the Genos, I'm pretty sure. And from there, we'll stop it. We'll pump the brakes potentially, or floor it straight to the playoffs for the top 2 teams in each division. Who we believe will make a deep playoff run or playoff appearance. Make some noise in the playoffs. We'll pump it or floor it. Let's get it.
All right, man. I'm gonna start it off here. So we got the Buffalo Bills. Are they still the top dogs of the league? And of course, my Super Bowl pick, the Buffalo Bills. They still the top dogs of this league, man. I don't care what anybody say. They still here. This team is still top tier. They was down 4 starters. They lost Edmonds due to injury during the game. This is still a top 5 defensive unit without their best defensive player, Darius White. And they're down both safeties. They don't even have their 2 starter safeties. They're down their first-round draft pick in Elam. Come on now. They're down a starting DN in Greg, I think his name Russo, who's starting to pick it up a little bit. They lost a tough game versus a good opponent in a overtime game. We talking about the game of the year. We talking about some missed opportunities. We talking about some big mistakes.
Yes.
But these are things that can be fixed. This is a team that is a veteran team. Josh Allen's been in the league. I think this is 5th year now. 5th year.
5th year.
Von Miller. You got a captain in Von Miller who's leading this defensive charge right now. Tre'Davious, Poyer, and can't get the other guy's name off the top of my head. Micah Hyde. These guys are veterans. Edmonds has led this league in tackle, has been top 5, top 10 in the league in tackles for multiple years. You got Stephon Diggs, top 5 receiver in the league on this team.
Top 5.
So you're battling some injuries there. Josh Allen battling the elbow injury. The issue I have with this team is that they're too big play happy. This team is always trying to look for the big plays. They're trying to put up a lot of points because they know their defense can stop anyone that's on the other side of the football. They're ranked number 8 in total scrimmage plays and top 5 in total touchdowns. This team is so high powered that when they can't score the ball, that when they can't score points, that's when they allow leads to come back because their defense can't stop everybody. Eventually, you're going to give up points. This is an offensive league, so eventually you're going to give up touchdowns. Josh Allen, 6 interceptions. 6 interceptions in the last 3 games. You got to slow down this offense. You got to find a way to establish the run. I keep saying it all the time with this Bills team. You have to find a way to establish the run and control the ball a little bit. You got to control the tempo a little bit better. Mm-hmm. Learn how to dink and dunk sometimes. I don't need a first down every play. I don't need to throw the ball 50 yards to Gabriel Davis every other play.
No.
Find a way to get Devin Singletary to be a pound-for-pound running back or have it by a committee, throw in some James Cook. We understand that he's a young player, but let's get him the ball a little bit more. You bring in Naheem Hines, who's a third down back, but try to utilize him. You utilize Duke Johnson, but then utilize the asset you traded for. So what are we doing here? Another thing, in the last 3 games, in the second half, this team has been outscored 43-12, and they're 1-2 in the last 3 games. I think they could turn things around. I think they will turn things around. I think they needed this. They needed a slap in the face. They needed a game like this for them, because when you lose games, that's when you come out as a winner, because these are the things you learn from. Okay, this is what we did wrong here and here. Mm-hmm. This is how we lost that game. So now we bring it back to the drawing board, and next time we're gonna get this fixed. And I think the way they lost, those are fixable. Those are fixable things that when playoff time comes, they're not gonna lose to the Chiefs in OT. They're not gonna lose to the Bengals in OT. They're gonna be ready. They're gonna be ready. So the only 2 teams that I can put above them, that could be above them, is the Chiefs and the Eagles. And the Eagles lost tonight to Washington football team. But again, this has been a weird NFL season already. So I wouldn't be surprised if Detroit beat the Buccaneers at some point. You know, that's the type of season we're having so far. So
that wouldn't be a surprise.
So that's what I got. I still think the Bills is the top dog in this league. That's what I got.
See, now, you think the Bills are a top dog. I know they're a top dog. You know what I'm saying? You know why I know they're a top dog? Because that man Josh Allen. I know you just highlighted everything that this team has, which makes them very, very balanced. Top tier, without a doubt, in a lot of different categories. You're talking about top 5 corner, top 5 receiver. You could argue top 5 pass rush. Ed Oliver's making some noise. Not seeing him doing this thing.
He was out there.
He was out there. Top 5 coach, the real Sean. He's standing up. And the fake Sean, that nigga sat his ass down a long time ago. Excuse my French. Now, as far as the Chiefs to me are very, very much like the Warriors. They had that high octane offense that you highlighted. The Warriors have a different type of taste to their offense. Only a few teams can match that. Back in the day, it was the James Harden Rockets. The Chiefs are them, and the Bills are the Rockets. Josh Allen is James Harden. I'm hoping he has different fortune in the playoffs, because it's ridiculous when it comes to James Harden. I'm hoping it's different fortune. They have an opportunity not only because of their offense, but because of that defense. That defense is top tier across the board. One of the most balanced defenses we may see. Now, that offense. The offense is very Josh Allen heavy. He's 80%. He's actually responsible for over 80% of their offense. So that's, come on, you're talking about over 75%. I prefer about 65 from a quarterback who's dual threat in a running game. Who we're not expecting a lot from them, but yes, they need to establish some sort of identity in the run game as the season gets closer to cold weather and playoff football. Now, the teams that they lose to is a beautiful loss in my eyes, and you said it. When you lose, you can learn from things. When you won, you can learn, but there's not too much. We you're gonna get up for the next week in a sense. Now with these Eagles, they didn't have a favorable schedule and they just lost to Washington. Losing to Washington compared to the Dolphins, compared to the Jets, compared to the Vikings is very, very much so favorable in the Bills' eyes. If you're a Bills fan, if you believe in the Bills, the Dolphins by 2 points, Jets 3 points, Vikings 3 points as well. The Vikings, we were wondering if they are legit. The Bills was a measuring stick, opportunity to show who they truly are, who the Vikings truly are. Now people are praising the Vikings because of the Bills' expectations, because the Bills on paper, the Bills last year, the Bills the last couple years have been trending in the right direction for a lot of different reasons. And you hang your hat on Sean McDermott, the real Sean, and Josh Allen, the MVP candidate.
They've improved every single year as a unit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, you see your face. You see you got something to say, so.
Hey,
I'm just hearing chest.
I'm just hearing a whole bunch of Josh Allen and Bills love, and I'm just like, what have they done to deserve this type of love? Like they Patrick Mahomes, like they Joe Burrow, who just led his team to the Super Bowl. I just don't get it. What have they done? Real quick question. I don't even want that to be rhetorical. What have the Bills done for y'all to be this high on them?
What's up?
What haven't they done?
How about make it to the Super Bowl? Beat Patrick Mahomes.
Green Bay hasn't done that.
Green Bay, I mean, they just beat Patrick Mahomes this year. But anyway,
Green Bay hasn't done that.
They did that last year also, and then what that got done.
You just said beat Patrick Mahomes. They beat Patrick Mahomes. They did that.
Yeah, but what does that do if you're not performing in the playoffs? Lamar Jackson has beaten Patrick Mahomes in the regular season also, but then when
what has the Ravens done?
That's what I'm saying. I'm not bigging up any of them right now. I'm just saying, what has any of this team done to get this type of praise?
The Buffalo Bills have had a top defensive unit for years. They've had a young quarterback who has trajectory and being one of the best quarterbacks. If you look at the eye test, ability-wise, Josh Allen has no weakness. Now, you're talking about
Jimmie, real quick. I'm glad you brought up Josh Allen, and I'm glad you brought up the Bills' defense. I seen a stat. Since week 8, those same Bills defense that y'all hyping up right now, they've allowed 120 rush yards per game and 6.2 yards per play. Now that's that top defense y'all keep speaking of. Josh Allen, would you know there's some sorry quarterbacks in this league. Can you guess who leads the league in interceptions?
Josh Allen.
No way. I think it's Matt Ryan.
No, it's Josh Allen.
With 10?
Yes.
He only has 10.
Yes.
Matt Ryan has no.
He don't got 10.
He was benched.
It does not matter how Josh Allen got him. It's becoming real apparent. It's becoming real apparent to me that he's turnover prone. Then I seen another stat. I'm about to tell you another stat. Did you know Josh Allen has fumbled the ball 8 times this season? So now you're talking about. Hey, Jimmie, I'm hearing excuses for what he's doing. All I'm giving you is the facts. He's turning the ball over. Granted, I say this: only three of those fumbles was recovered by the other team. So, but still, he's turnover prone, and you keep hyping him up. And all I'm saying is, he might just be a rich man's Eli Manning. Really. I mean, with the running, I mean, bro will give you the ball. He will give you an opportunity to get back into the game. The Bills have the last 2 games. The Bills had double-digit leads, lost both. I mean, Josh Allen, he's 2-9 when the games are decided by 8 points or less in the last 2 years. The Bills aren't that team, bro. Like when the chips really matter, they aren't going to perform. They aren't going to beat Patrick Mahomes. I don't see them beating my Bengals. Hell, depending on the day, I might choose the Dolphins over them. To be honest with you, I mean the Bills are just not that team.
They can put up just as many points as any of those teams, and their defense is damn near can
You
stop
said,
any of those offenses.
Darius, you say that, but those other teams' quarterbacks ain't just turning the ball over like
And
how
first of
he is.
all, the
That's
Chiefs,
overblown.
the
Very
Chiefs,
much.
the Chiefs can't run the ball. So if you talk about rushing stats, Chiefs can't run the ball. The Dolphins can't run the ball consistently because Jeff Wilson he had a solid day. Who else are we talking about?
What about the Bengals and the Bengals? Let's just say
The
Bengals and
Bengals don't get
Ravens.
Joe Mixon the ball enough. They
And
they
y'all
want to
O-line is
throw
not
the ball. They want
consistent.
to throw the ball. The
Yeah.
The
Bengals
O
aren't giving Joe Mixon the rock enough.
Brush surely just had 200 scrimmage yards last game he played, bro.
We're talking about consistency here, and the
I'm
Bengals are not
talking, yeah.
known to run the ball or to have a good line. And in the playoffs, the trenches is where games are won.
Well, Jimmy, since you said, Jimmy, I'm liking when you speak because you just bringing back, stuff that I need to remember. You know what I'm saying? Speaking of trenches, would you care to know the Buffalo Bills are ranked one of the lowest teams in red zone efficiency? When they get down there, Josh Allen might just turn the ball over. That's what he's been doing. So in the trenches, it's no telling what's going to happen.
You keep talking about all these negative things in the Buffalo Bills. You keep talking about all these negative things, and the Buffalo Bills have literally lost every game by under 3 points. Like this team has all these negative things flowing for them, and the reason being their best player. I'm pretty sure we all know that Josh Allen is the Bills' best player, and if your best player is the reason why you're losing games, 3 games, might I add, then that's a telltale sign to something positive, or if you're able to win in the midst of negativity. I mean, that's beautiful. That's a beautiful thing to me. You're getting dubs even with adversity. At least you have adversity. Some teams they're hard to judge, hard to gauge where they're really at because they're not facing much. But the Bills they have a bumps in the road, which will allow for the finish line to be that much sweeter.
Jimmy, quick question. Did you know the Bengals have lost 3 games where the team has beaten the Bengals by a field goal, last second field goal. That's how they got 3 of their losses, and the only other loss is the bad Browns loss. So, what is the difference between the losses the Bengals have compared to the losses the Bills have? Because the Bengals, I give you this, they lost to a bad Steelers team, but to their defense, Joe Burrow, he had a bad game. He had just got his appendectomy. That was a serious surgery. His O-line didn't have any cohesion. It was first game of the season. Then they played the Cowboys. The Cowboys are a pretty good team. And then they lost to Baltimore on the last second field goal. Every single one of those losses was a game-winning field goal by the other team. So really, the Bengals should be probably about 8-1 if we're going to go off of that. Really. So, what is the difference?
The difference. Go ahead, Coach. I'm good.
Well, first of all, they destroyed the Steelers. The Bills destroyed the Steelers.
Hey.
Secondly, they beat the Ravens by 3, which is a good football team.
Bengals beat the Dolphins also.
And they lost to the Dolphins by 2.
Without Tua.
They lost to the
Tua
Dolphins.
was there.
They lost to the Dolphins by 2. They lost to a good defensive Jets unit. And they lost to the Vikings at OT.
We blew the Jets out.
Again.
Yo, my thing is, you acting like the Bengals are some proven franchise. The Bills have been more consistent for the last 5. Yo, Joe Burrow just became relevant last year. Like you going based off.
He only
1
been
year.
in the league 2 years.
Hold on. I understand the Bengals haven't done anything for decades, but for you to jump on the bandwagon this soon is utter blasphemy. Joe Burrow has way more to use. T. Higgins is the number 1 receiver. Jamar Chase is the number 1 receiver. Some people believe he's the best receiver in the league, but we're not going to go there yet. Stephon Diggs is a top receiver, but Taylor Gabriel and T. Higgins you could argue a little bit of a drop-off. We're not even going to talk about Tyler Boyd and Joe Mixon out the backfield. Let's not act like your situation is with the Bengals is so beautiful. You made it on some fluke shit. Like the Bills have been doing this since Joe Burrow was hurt, doing shit in LSU.
You know, I hear you saying some fluke shit. Why the Bills don't get this lucky then? Because they had the same opportunity to go to Arrowhead and beat Patrick Mahomes also, and they didn't do it. So
they lost in OT.
Like,
it does not matter. It does not matter. A loss is a loss. Y'all, I don't hear y'all copping for the Bengals.
You
The
just
Bengals
asked
only
why.
lost. But I'm saying y'all not saying the Bengals only lost the Super Bowl because Aaron Donald, one of the greatest players ever, just happened to bust the.
Against that terrible O line. I'm not surprised. And when playoff time comes, every team in the AFC every front seven can get through your offensive line. That Tennessee's defense can get through that O line. The Dolphins defense
I agree.
can get through,
No,
through that O line.
we're not doing the Dolphins. Dolphins have no pass rush. Nah, we're not doing that one. Bradley Chubb ain't like that.
Shit.
I mean, my thing is
definitely not like that.
Hey, they're becoming a well cohesive team. I will say that they still have some bumps. They need to figure out what they can do when they face a legit pass rusher like the TJ Watts, Myles Garrett's and them. But as far as like these other teams,
They played them. Well,
that's what I'm saying. They played TJ Watt and Myles Garrett.
Didn't play.
No, he did. That was the first game. He was there and he balled out.
Because he is a difference maker for that Steelers defense. But they play the Browns next week.
No, they play the Steelers next week. Oh, you talking about the Bills?
Bills? Yeah, I'm talking about the Bills.
Oh, yeah. I thought you talking about the Bengals. My bad.
Yeah, but still, the reason why I can't say the Bengals are better than them is mainly because they can't protect Joe Burrow. So when you play a high powered defense like the Bills, I just think he's gonna get they're gonna get overpowered. They're gonna get dominated. Especially with no Jamar Chase, and we don't know how he's gonna come back from what does he have?
He has it's a hip, a bruise, some type of fractured hip.
Yeah, we don't even know how his mobility is going to be, how his burst is going to be. He has a lot of breakaways. He gets the ball, he can make plays, he can make people miss.
Brad had a fractured hip when he played Atlanta and had 100 and something yards and still outran the Atlanta DBs. I'm not too much worried about Jamar Chase.
Josh Gordon came back and put up like 200 against Atlanta. We don't have DBs.
All I'm saying is I like to see a proven winner. That's why people aren't high on the Titans. People aren't high on the Ravens. When it comes playoff time, I need to see you actually deliver. And what do they have to do to prove it? They literally, the first season that they made it back to the playoffs, they made a Super Bowl run. They beat the Raiders, then they beat Tennessee in Tennessee, and then they went to Arrowhead. Like 2016 or 2015, something like that.
Let me ask you this, because you talk about you have to prove it in the playoffs. Which teams have really proved it? Which AFC teams? Because they're in the AFC, they got to get out of the AFC. Which AFC teams really have proved it in the playoffs in the last, let's say, just 3 years?
Chiefs and Bengals.
The Bengals only did it once.
But what else are you going to go off of? Because only one team is going to make it to the Super Bowl every year. So you can only go off of teams that made it to the Super Bowl also. But
you did it one time. What is that proving?
That's more than Josh Allen. What has he proven? That is my point.
Listen, what you're saying is the Bengals have proven something and the Bills have not, based off of 1 year. That's not a big sample size to prove. And if I'm proving something, I got to do something multiple times, not just one time. But where's the proof in that?
Jimmy, my thing is the Bills have had multiple chances to get to the Super Bowl and beat Patrick Mahomes. They haven't. Then you have this young stud like Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, their first full healthy season, and they're able to do what Josh Allen isn't able to do in the first season. So I'm not too big on, I need to see this over time. When they did it in their first season, something that the person y'all are praising can't do in all the years that I've seen him go up against Patrick Mahomes.
Okay.
But,
I understand somewhat of your point, and I'm with you at some point as far as you gotta win the big games. So I've already said this at the beginning of the year that the Bills' issue is that they don't win big games when it's crunch time. When it's crunch time and it's time to win those games, they don't. They come up short. But as a complete overall roster that has continuously gotten better year after year after year, and they've shown that, it's still early in the season. It's midway, and they're still top. I mean, whatever. They're third in their division. Whatever. That's going to change soon. But
toughest division.
As far as a complete overall roster that can get better, that can overcome this, to have the potential to overcome this, I think out of all teams in the AFC, them and the Chiefs are the two. And I could say that I could agree with you to a certain extent with the Bengals. It's just when playoff time comes, I have that issue of them protecting Joe Burrow.
They didn't protect him last year, and they made it to the Super Bowl, man.
Exactly. And without Jamar Chase,
he's going to be there.
We don't know when. So, again, when playoff time comes, let's see what happens. But I think this Bills team can overcome this. I think Jimmie agrees. And Don, it seems like you're going with the Bengals. Bengals are the top dogs.
Nah, they're not the top dogs. I'm just gonna say they're on the same level as those Chiefs, the Bills, the Dolphins. Those are the top 14 teams in the AFC. I'm not putting any of them over the Bengals. And until they prove that they beat them, nah. Hey, what's that saying? What's that saying? To be the champ, you gotta beat the champ. Last time I checked, Bengals were the AFC champions. So until somebody actually beat them in the playoffs or they don't make the playoffs, I don't want to hear about none of these other teams.
Your team is a lot different than last year, and the Chiefs team is a lot different.
You're right. We're better. We're better.
These Chiefs are a lot more efficient. These Chiefs are putting up 30-plus points without Tyreek Hill. These Chiefs are methodical. These Chiefs can beat you in a multitude of ways, and they can protect their star player as opposed to always putting their star player on the line. There's a consistent factor with the Chiefs, and you're putting them the Bengals are in the same category as the Chiefs. The disrespect. If you're talking about consistency over a span of time, the Chiefs are that. The Bengals have done it for 1 year. One hitter quitter. No, sir.
Yeah. And we will leave it at that. One hitter quitter. Let's see. Like you say, you got to beat the champ to be the champ. So
let's talk.
We're going to segue right into some Odell Beckham.
Mm-hmm.
What we got?
Talk about a champ here. The return of OBJ, a box office individual, a talent that is a generational one that you can argue is an all-time great talent. And we'll talk about this signing that's going to happen this week because he said it's going to happen. And we'll talk about the Super Bowl chances of the team he selects. Who y'all think gonna get this guy, this rare addition, OBJ?
Go ahead, Don. Let's see what you got.
So, what I did, I'm just gonna go down the list of teams that they say are the options. First off, they got the Packers. The Packers just found their identity, and they run the ball 62% of the time. I don't see them getting him. One, I don't think they're making the playoffs. So that kind of just blows them out. Another team is the 49ers. How does that work? You have Ayuk, you have Kittle, Debo. I'm missing somebody. I know I am. McCaffrey. And let's not forget, they got a average quarterback at best. So, I don't see that happening. The Giants, that's just a little cute little story of him returning. Yeah, it's not happening. Daniel Jones, here's Daniel Jones. Who else we got here? Kansas City, I don't see that happening. They just got Kadarius Toney. Like you said, they're spreading the ball around to all these different wide receivers. They don't need Odell. Another team, Bills don't have no type of cap space. So I don't see how that's going to work. They said Odell wants a deal like Mike Williams, 3 years, $60 million. I don't see how the Bills make that work. And quite frankly, if I was him, I would not want to play in Buffalo in the wintertime. And so that leaves me with the Dallas Cowboys. Cowboys have the most cap space out of all of these teams. They have a fringe top 10 QB in Dak Prescott, and I feel like if Odell went there, he probably could challenge CeeDee Lamb for the number one wide receiver spot. And I feel like the offense would just go. The offense is already pretty good. That'll bring their offense to legit, especially with their defense. Yeah, they had a bad game against the Packers, but that defense is pretty good. And so my choice would be the Cowboys, and I think they could make some noise in the playoffs with Odell.
Jimmie, what you think?
America's team is a solid choice because the need. It's a necessity. And I believe Odell loves the spotlight. You know, he's, besides playoff time with the Giants the first time around, that's neither here nor there. But coming off this Super Bowl and being in that locker room and understanding what it takes to win a Super Bowl could assist the Cowboys in a big way. It can add even more balance to this team. Losing what's his name, Amari Cooper, is actually a big deal because CeeDee Lamb is not the number one, is not a true number one receiver in this league yet, in my eyes. Not good enough to hang your hat on. And I believe Odell would put a lot of pressure on him, would set a good example for him, and it would be smooth. But I'm going to go with the Ravens because it's a bigger need. The Ravens, Odell doesn't mind playing in the cold weather. Odell doesn't mind at all. And I believe with the Ravens, Lamar Jackson, the flavor, the box office appeal, the way the media has been pooping on him for quite some time. And also it's well known that they need a number one. And Odell wants to prove that he is needed and he can be durable while doing so. So I believe Odell will go to the Ravens, and where the Ravens could go based off of him going there, second round exit. I don't believe in Lamar Jackson's arm, but I would like to see Odell there to help prove me wrong. I want to be proven wrong. I want to see you excel. I want to see you look like Jalen Hurts. I want to see you look like Justin Fields. I'm not saying Justin Fields' arm is better. I'm saying they're getting better. I want to see Lamar get better year in and year out from a throwing perspective.
That definitely was a curveball. I did not expect you to go with the Ravens. So I would say that did surprise me. But I think I'm with Don on this one as far as America's so-called team. So I think Odell's going to go to Dallas. Odell's a showman. He belongs in the spotlight. Big city, New York, the Big Apple. He went to L.A., played with the Rams, right? This dude here is box office. This is why people go to the stadium before the game starts, because they want to see him do the one arm, the one-handed catch behind the back. He's a showman, but he's also a really good player. His ability to run the short routes as far as your ins and outs, your comebacks, your hitches, is top tier. It's top tier as far as his ability to run those routes. And I think that gives Dak that safety valve so he doesn't have to take those deep shots to Michael Gallup. But that may open up plays for Michael Gallup, or his ability to get CeeDee Lamb the ball. And CeeDee I think he's better at, when he catches the ball, his run after catch is even better than his talent as far as a consistent pass catcher, because we've seen CeeDee drop a lot of passes. And that'll take pressure off CeeDee, because I think Odell doesn't need – I think where Odell is in his career, he doesn't need to be the number one. He doesn't need to be the guy. So that's why I can't agree that he'll go to Baltimore, because if he goes to Baltimore, he's going to be looked at as the guy, the savior. I can't see him going to the Chiefs because he's going to be the guy, the savior. He can go to Dallas just like he did with the Rams and be the number two and be very productive. very productive because he's going to go against the number 2 or the number 3 corner, and he could beat those guys.
Right.
I think it elevates this offense to another level, and the defense is already top tier. My issue with this team is still Dak Prescott. I don't understand how he doesn't elevate this team to another level. Like he's just a stagnant.
Because he ain't
player.
that guy.
He's just a stagnant guy. Like he doesn't consistently get better, but he doesn't consistently get worse. And the majority of his passing yards is just like it's garbage yards. They're meaningless. So this team is kind of balanced, but I definitely think Odell would bring them to another level. But I don't know what they're missing. I think it's that coaching staff that they're missing because they went from Jason Garrett, who is not a great coach, to Mike McCarthy, who we understand isn't a great coach. So, I mean, I think, again, it's culture with that Dallas organization. But I don't know. I see them as a first round, maybe second round exit. But it depends on it really depends on how that defense plays. I believe more in the defense than I would in the offense. But I definitely think Odell would be an X factor for that team. I think he would benefit, and that team would benefit from him going there. But I don't believe in Dak, unfortunately. I don't believe in Dak, so I don't believe in this team. And I didn't think they were going to be that good this year.
Now, you said Odell as the number 1 receiver in the Ravens, and this is an era where tight ends are number 1 receivers as well. Mark Andrews would definitely be the number 1 receiver. Odell Beckham on a
You're not double teaming Mark Andrews.
Yeah, it's more difficult to. But just because you're being double teamed doesn't mean you're the number 1 option. Sometimes you have to double team deep threats, and their deep threats aren't always the number 1 option. It's based off the scheme of the defense. So I agree. But to double Odell would be idiotic against a team that's known to run. Like you're not going to double almost anybody on the Ravens because you want to stop that run, and the Ravens want to run that ball. So I feel like it could work. But I like the Cowboys one too. I don't see all those stars, all those years, and shit to show for it. So I ain't too much believing in the Cowboys when playoff time comes. And I think Odell's a smart guy. You know, fellow Scorpio season, Scorpio in the building. I believe he'll make the right decision.
If he gonna make the right decision, it would be to stay away from Baltimore. Mm-hmm. Literally, sure. I mean, wide receivers have said they hate the Baltimore Ravens scheme. So I could not see Odell going out there and thinking that he's gonna have this widely successful season. Well, yeah, Lamar's gotten better with passing, but they're still a run-first team. Yeah, I mean, they're still a run-first team. If it was me, I would go to a team that I know likes to sling that ball. I know I'm gonna get my touches every game. Shoot, he might go to the Ravens, get seven receptions one game. Next game, don't even get targeted.
That's a part of his problem. I know he got 1 Super Bowl, but that mentality, that diva-ish. What the hell? Do you care about a Super Bowl aspirations?
Are the Ravens going to win the Super Bowl with him?
I'm just about to say that. Ravens or Cowboys, who do y'all believe has a better shot at making a run?
Cowboys.
Oh, man, that's tough.
Mike McCarthy, John Harbaugh.
I get that, but the only reason why I say that so quickly is because the NFC is really just the Eagles and maybe however you feel about the 49ers. Other than that, I'm not too sold on any of those other teams out there. And it just depends on how the playoffs fall. Dallas could end up in the NFC Championship game. And you never know what could happen. I don't see a case under no circumstance the Ravens get into the AFC Championship game. And maybe not even out the first round.
Especially without no offensive weapons. Besides Mark Andrews. And
I'm about
right
to
now
say, come on. They're
gonna have to continuously run the football, and again, when playoff time comes, we got to see Lamar pass the ball like they have consistently made him do. That 1 year he made it to the playoffs. I think he made it to the playoffs twice.
3. No.
His
I think it's
rookie-
4.
his rookie year?
It's 4. He's 1-3 in the playoffs.
I think he's 1-2, but
Yeah, I think it's a little less than that. Because last year they didn't make it, right? Because he got hurt.
Yeah, they didn't make it last year.
he's
Yeah.
been in the league 5 years.
So yeah, you might be right. Like that 1 and 2.
He's I know he only has one. He's lost.
I mean, that O-line can do something. And if you're talking about any type of team like the Cowboys, we question if they're even going to run the ball. I think that's going to affect them, like on some Green Bay shit. Like, we know the Ravens will run the ball, and that's a formula that can work. It's just Lamar, if you're saying you don't have any weapons and we give you more weapons, what are you going to do with those weapons?
Bro, 1-3 in the playoffs.
Wow.
The only way he goes to Baltimore is if they pay him big. They pay him very well, handsomely, because at this point in his career, I think he can be a solid, like a better Robin. So
You don't think he can be a Batman?
I don't think he really wants to be the Batman. He wants to be the Robin and still shine. He can shine. He wants to be the Robin and still shine as the Batman, because that's how box office is. That's how box office he is, and then that's how talented he is as well. When he played for that Rams team, he elevated that offense. The offense became better, and Cooper Kupp was still dominating.
That's facts. It's like the ultimate, role player, the Scottie Pippen Kobe effect. But from there, we'll go into some veteran guys. The QB struggle. You're talking about Russell Wilson's, the Matt Ryan's. The list goes on this year. Will teams think twice about trading draft picks going forward because of these aging quarterbacks and what they're showing specifically this year? What's your thoughts?
I'm gonna say yes. This is gonna turn. Teams are gonna stop doing this. Teams are gonna stop investing in other talent. I think Sam Darnold was traded for multiple draft picks at one point. I think Baker Mayfield was he traded for a late round draft pick?
Yeah, it wasn't much.
But we see what happened with Russ, right? Traded for multiple first round draft picks. Matt Ryan was traded for, I think, like a third or something like that. Carson Wentz at one point was traded for high draft picks. And you see where all of these quarterbacks are, and we see what they're doing. They're not elevating their teams that they're on today. Unless you get a guy like Deshaun Watson, who was a top-tier quarterback, and who is only 26 years old. We're not talking about a 30-year-old quarterback. We're not talking about a 33-year-old quarterback. We are still talking about a guy that's still in his prime, but who hasn't played in a while, but the potential is still there. I think teams are going to want to start developing guys. I think, i.e., like the Justin Fields. We want to get these guys involved and see if we could build a team around them, i.e. Lamar Jackson, i.e. Tua, i.e. Jalen Hurts, Kenny Pickett. These are some guys that are young and have some form of talent, but you build a team around them, you see it can elevate their game, right? So I definitely think teams are gonna stop doing that. I could definitely see a lot more teams trading capital as far as players and future picks to trade up and get these guys, like the 49ers did for Trey Lance. They wanted to get Jimmy G out of there. They went up and got Trey Lance. It didn't work out because he got hurt. So this isn't a league for statue quarterbacks anymore. Father Tom is going to eventually catch up to Tom. We understand he's the GOAT. We understand he loves to play football. Eventually, he has to give the game up. Eventually. Aaron Rodgers, eventually, he's going to have to give the game up. I don't think players are going to get into their 40s. I don't see another quarterback playing into their mid-40s anymore. Matt Ryan's not going to make it another year. It's not. I'm sorry, Matt. I'm sorry, but it's not happening. We see. Hey, I'll bring him up a little later, but I don't see this happening anymore. I think it's going to stop. Teams are going to want to develop their own guys and move forward with their young talent and not trade multiple first rounders, second rounders for these quarterbacks anymore, because none of these guys are really game changers. And to be honest, Tom Brady is the GOAT, but it complements his skill set with the level of talent he has around him. Like he can still make the throws. He can still make the throws at 45 that some of these guys can't make in their mid-30s. But you got to see the talent that's around him. Like, he got Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. Like, come on. He got 2 top-tier receivers on his team. Don't look at me like Chris Godwin.
I was gonna say, what you looking crazy for, Jimmy?
Not a top 20 receiver.
Because 20 is not a. If 20 people is one tier, what the hell? Like, no, that Chris Godwin is not a top tier. He is a tier, top 2 tier, top 3 maybe. He's a top 20.
He's like that 13 to like 6. He's in that like 13 to 15, maybe
top
16.
Top tier. Mike Evans is barely top 5. Maybe top.
Mike Evans is not top 5.
He's top 8.
He's top 10. He's top 10.
Right. So
Top
even Mike
10.
Evans is, but we're not going to go there. Tom Brady is a creme de la creme, and yes, even creme de la creme needs a great situation. Matthew Stafford was able to do it with a great situation on both sides of the ball. Not saying that the Bucs situation wasn't great on their defense, but the Rams situation is a hell of a lot great when you have Aaron Donald right there. Your best players on your defense. Now, you talking about these, all right, for me, Russell Wilson, the Matt Ryans, I get them. I get the Matthew Staffords, but you can't allow your situation to determine, what could. You can't allow your situation to determine what can't happen as far as you making a move for a quarterback, the most important position on the field. You're going to have to adjust towards whatever your weakness is. And if your weakness is at the quarterback position, I advise any team to make a move today for a better quarterback. And sometimes that comes with bumps and bruises. The Fitzmagic. He's helped Tua. Let's say it. Let's call it out. Fitzmagic's done that. Jameis Winston. If Jameis Winston was doing better, we would give Fitzmagic that card for assistance when it comes to Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston is Jameis Winston's problem. But certain teams, like you were saying, are segueing into developing talent and having that bridge quarterback. Teddy Bridgewater is another one. There are certain situations where guys who have proven something, guys who have a Super Bowl, guys who have Super Bowl appearance, guys who are trying to run to a situation where they can be the plug and play, like Matt Ryan. All we said about the coach last couple of years is all they need is a quarterback. Now we're saying all they need is more receivers, really, and a better coach potentially, or a real coach potentially, however you want to view it. But we can't sit here and let it be black and white. Nothing's 100%, nothing's 0%. It's very, very situational. I believe if you have a window with great players like the Aaron Donalds and the Jalen Ramseys in their prime, that window could close very rapidly, and or a great running back. Like if the Giants were to go out and get a great quarterback, before Russell Wilson came to the Broncos, if he went to the Giants, we would be like, oh, the Giants have this expectation because of what he's done in the past, and we can't get caught up in the past. Not every quarterback can play until 45, but it's a lot more possible to do so in this era. But what also counters that is the fact that this is a dual threat era. So when you're dual threat, you're putting your body on the line, which will shorten your career as opposed to extending it.
I'll say this. I really feel like it's a team by team basis. Like some of these teams, like I told y'all last week, Broncos probably regret trading for Russell Wilson because he is not that guy. I'm sure the coach probably have some ill feelings towards trading for Matt Ryan. But I mean, I basically went down the league, looked at everybody, the QB situation, and if there's a team that I think Darius will agree with me, I feel like if the Saints got Derek Carr, people would say the Saints are a Super Bowl contender because that's literally all they're missing is a consistent QB. They have their defense is pretty good. They have offensive weapons in Olave, Landry, and Michael Thomas when he's healthy, and Kamara. So I really feel like it's just a team by team basis. Like a team like that, I would tell them, yeah, go all in for a QB because that's all you're missing. You're playing with Andy Dalton. So I would say, yeah. I'd say no. Teams shouldn't worry about trading off all these future picks. If you know there's a guy that's been consistent in the NFL for all these years, I'll go out there and get him, especially if that's that missing piece for your team.
I can't say that about the Saints. I can't agree, only because of the simple fact with Jameis Winston, they were considered a Super Bowl contender. They were NFL analysts that also said Jameis Winston was a sleeper for MVP because of the weapons around him.
But is Jameis on the same level as Derek Carr?
I'm just saying.
I'm saying that Derek Carr is like a consistent quarterback. So you don't think if they have a consistent quarterback, the Saints are gonna?
How is consistent down there?
I won't be surprised.
We're not going to judge Derek Carr off of this season with McDaniels as his head coach.
I'm going to judge Derek Carr over the last 3 seasons he's had with the Ravens.
He was good last season.
He was okay last season, and that's another team that can't get over the hump. So let's just start some teams here. If you're the Tennessee Titans, you going out you going out to try to get one of these aging quarterbacks. You go all right.
They already got one.
Let's just say Aaron Rodgers. I don't believe in Malik Willis. He can't throw the football. So let's just say Aaron Rodgers is on the block now. The Packers doesn't make the playoffs. They're tired of Rodgers giving them the runaround every year. You an organization. You the Tennessee Titans. You're the New York Jets. You got a top tier defense. You got some weapons at receiver. You trade in draft capital to go get Aaron Rodgers.
You just said bump Zach Wilson, huh?
Yeah, get him out of there because that's their missing piece right there. They don't got a quarterback.
God,
I ain't gonna lie. That's I had an answer for you definitively for the Titans, but now you thought the Jets, and it's like
the Jets. No, it's because of who it is. Zach Wilson has talent. You have to have the right mind behind that talent. Aaron Rodgers is old. Aaron Rodgers, what?
Robert Saleh isn't in contention to be one of the coaches of the year.
I'm not saying,
but he's also a defensive mind. But I'm saying,
right. I'm not saying they don't have the right mind behind Zach Wilson. Only time will tell that. It's too early to tell if you have the right mind with Zach Wilson. What I'm saying is, in order to maximize that talent, you have to have the right mind. Yes, we've seen Rodgers coming over there would accelerate things when it comes to knowing what's proven. But at the same time, Aaron Rodgers doesn't guarantee you anything. He's had almost everything you've needed throughout his career at different points in his career. He's at an easy division. You're talking about going to the Titans. Yes, it's an easier division, but it's a tougher conference. So the path there, you can't get through Jimmie. How the hell you going to get through these other dogs in the AFC? So it's tough. The Titans, that's another one. You have young quarterbacks in place already. So for you to, it's one thing to give away a pick that isn't there yet, but to give away a pick you just acquired, it's a little distasteful for the fans.
You know, Jimmie, I like you. You got selective memory, I see. Because
I have situational memory.
because I just heard you say Aaron Rodgers has benefited from a sorry division. Who does that sound like? You got any idea?
Tom Brady?
Yeah. Yes. So So what is the difference? That's my thing. Tom Brady went to the Buccaneers and he led that team to the Super Bowl. So you telling me Aaron Rodgers is still a pretty good quarterback. You're telling me if he go to the Jets, he can't do that same exact thing?
No, because
why not?
Because Tom Brady, year in and year out, with or without what he needs, he gets it done. With or without a tough opponent.
Like you said, the defense is. Like you said, the division is trash over there. They didn't have to play anybody. They was always going to make it to the playoffs every single year. So that just cancels it out. My thing is,
has had that and has not proven. He's won one Super Bowl with a subpar division all his career. So why just move to another weak division? Why is that a reason when you haven't done anything with that same reason?
Aaron Rodgers isn't a problem in Green Bay right now, though.
What is the problem?
He's part of it. He's part of it, but is he the main reason why they're not winning?
Yes. Coming up short, when your best player comes up small, when he doesn't elevate in the postseason, he gets worse. Aaron Rodgers does not elevate in the postseason, he gets worse. He shrinks under the pressure. Against Jimmy Garoppolo, the 49ers, against the Cowboys, that's the team that he plays well against. The Cowboys. They're not even relevant in the postseason. The 49ers with Colin Kaepernick. This dates back. This ain't just a recent thing.
Go ahead, Darius. Go ahead.
I just find it tough that, in the next couple of years, we're gonna have some quarterbacks that are probably gonna be moving around again. Like Derek Carr might be on the move. Matt Ryan's probably gonna be out of the league. Russell Wilson.
Let me ask you this: if Derek Carr went to the Jets, would y'all consider them a Super Bowl contender?
No. I can't. I don't know. I just can't.
What is holding y'all back on the Derek Carr?
What is accelerating you with Derek Carr?
It's not accelerating. It's more so of Derek Carr is a pretty consistent QB. He's at least top 11, top 12.
Get the fuck out of here. Yo,
I can name 12 quarterbacks better than Derek Carr.
Who? Run it.
All right. So we got you got the basics, right? You got Mahomes. You have you got Josh Allen. You got Justin Herbert, Joe Burrow, Rodgers,
Kyler.
Whoa.
Deshaun.
Whoa. Let's bring some of these names back. After these five, okay, y'all got these five.
Brady, that's seven.
Hold on.
Right there.
Hold on. You cannot put Deshaun over somebody that has been playing. Deshaun has not been playing. He cannot be part of.
Last time Deshaun Watson played, he led the league.
Last time he played, I don't know what I was doing back then, but I wasn't doing what I'm doing right now, so it doesn't count.
Anyway, so I'm taking Deshaun Watson over Derek Carr.
So you got Tom Brady. You said that's 7.
That's 7 right there. From there, I'll still take Russell Wilson over Derek
Carr. Stop it.
I'm still taking Russell Wilson over Derek Carr. Lamar Jackson, I didn't even add him to that. That's 9 right there.
That's 8. We're not doing no Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson has played like straight trash, and you're basically just going off of his past.
What has Derek Carr done that Russell Wilson hasn't? And Russell Wilson was mobile.
He's not mobile anymore.
All right, so I'm taking Russell Wilson. That's 9 right there. From there, I would take Kyler. That's 10. And
Tua?
I would take Tua. I'll take Tua over Derek Carr. And wow, yeah. From there,
Gino.
You said who?
I'm not
Gino with less weapons. What is he doing with the Seahawks? We're gonna speak on the word later on. But god damn, we gotta start.
I'm not taking Gino.
If we do this one-headed quitters, Gino is a one-headed quitter.
I take Kirk Cousins. I take Kirk Cousins over Derek Carr.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, some of the people I give you this.
You catch Kirk in the in a non primetime game.
Yeah, I was just about to say, yeah,
I'm happy
yeah,
because I win majority of those games.
non prime time, yeah, but that's not what it matters. My only thing would say, or my only pushback would be on some of the people y'all did name, like Kyler. Nah, that's up for debate.
I'll get to them later.
Hey, me too.
I'll get to them later
Me too.
because I do have some issues with Kyler.
Exactly. And so you said Kyler, Kirk. I feel like Kirk and Derek Carr are on the same level. It's just Kirk Cousins is in a better situation right now. His head coach is scheming better plays, and he also has Justin Jefferson. But I was just about to say that. I was just about to say that.
Yo, we're gonna act like last year Hunter Renfrow wasn't going crazy from the slot.
Yeah, exactly. Last year, and that what has changed since last year?
He's regressed. Oh, don't
No.
I get to those Raiders next.
He's not. I don't think Derek Carr has regressed. I think it's the coaching.
I said Hunter Renfrow regressed.
I don't even think it's that. I think it's the coaching. I think they're not putting them in good places to make good plays.
Listen, if it's one of these teams is going to go out there and get Derek Carr, we're going to see if he's able to revamp his career somewhere else. I'm
Go ahead,
Jimmy. Go ahead.
I'm sort of confused because when we look at this list, yes, Matt Stafford has not done anything. Rodgers has got a Super Bowl, Brady, Super Bowl, Matt Ryan, Super Bowl appearance, Russell Wilson, Super Bowl and Super Bowl appearance. Derek Carr did a damn thing, so we're talking about aging good quarterbacks here, I thought. But this
is he not good?
No.
Man, stop it, bro. Right ain't good.
Derek Carr he's not good. What is good?
Is Ryan Tannehill? That's basically what he is. He's a little bit above average. He's better than Ryan Tannehill.
Average is not good.
He's on the same level as Kirk Cousins. Like he's on the same level as Kyler Murray. All of them are on the same level.
How many teams are there in the league?
I take my man. What's the quarterback for Jacksonville?
We're not doing that.
I would take.
I take Trevor Lawrence over.
Based off of what?
Easily.
Based off of what? He hasn't done nothing. He hasn't done nothing.
He hasn't had the talent to do anything.
Wait, hold on.
He has the talent.
Wait. You keep talking about he hasn't done anything. He's been in the league for 1 year. Like, what could he do in 1 year? Of course he hasn't proved anything. That's a trash point. He's been in the league for 1 year.
He was the number 1 overall pick. There's a reason why. Because that Jaguars team was bad.
He's been in the league 2 years now. I seen two QBs last year that was in their second year leading their team to wins in Justin Herbert and Joe Burrow. Obviously, he ain't none of them.
Justin Herbert and Joe Burrow have beautiful situations, some of the top situations in the league.
He has Christian Kirk. He has Travis Etienne.
First of all, Christian Kirk can't even sit at the same table as Jamar Chase.
I'm not saying that he can.
Tyler Boyd is better than Christian Kirk.
Christian Kirk was balling at the beginning of this year.
I ain't tripping with the Tyler
Boyd. Tyler Boyd better than him.
We're not Tyler Boyd better receiver situation, but there's a lot of QBs that's better than Derek Carr. It has more potential than Derek Carr.
I'm wrapped up in you believe average and good is the same thing. They're different.
It's not that I believe that they're average and good, but an average quarterback can be good at times. Can they not?
Yes, and that average quarterback that's defining what he is can be good at times, and great quarterbacks can be decent or mediocre at times. But what he is generally is average.
Is he? Let me ask you: is he better than Tannehill, or is Tannehill better than him?
I would take
exactly. So would you say Tannehill is a bad
quarterback? Carr over Tannehill.
What about Jimmy G?
Average quarterback, and I'm gonna take Jimmy G because I believe.
But my thing is Jimmy G over Carr.
I am.
But my thing is, you can win with these guys.
Yeah, you can win with the average quarterback. Yes.
So that's what I'm saying. If that's all like the Jets or one of these teams need is an average quarterback that can consistently not turn the ball over, because that's Zach Wilson's problem. He turns the ball over. He makes bad decisions. So if you get a QB back there, a veteran QB that's not going to do that, I don't see why the Jets couldn't make. I wouldn't take them serious, but I don't see why they want to be like a Super Bowl, at least a threat, because their defense is good. They have the weapons.
Matthew Stafford coming from the Detroit Lions, he was putting up stupid amount of numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Because he does have a big arm at that time, right? Right now he's aging, but he was good enough to elevate and complement that roster was good, and he was able to elevate them to another level. We're talking about Derek Carr. Can he elevate? We're talking about when we're trading for these quarterbacks, can they elevate the team to another level? Because when you're trading for these guys, you're looking for Super Bowl aspirations. That's the reason why. That's the reason why you go out and get them.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you think Derek Carr has the ability to make? We could just use the Jets as an example. I mean, to make the Jets a Super Bowl caliber roster, because that's the reason why you would go get them, or even in general, anybody. Anybody going out to get Derek Carr.
Certain situations don't bode well for getting Derek Carr. But Jimmy Garoppolo and Derek Carr are very similar, and the 49ers would bode well or very similar with Derek Carr because they have a situation in there. The Jets don't have the Brandon Ayuk's, the Debo's, the George Kittle's, etc., or the Kyle Shanahan offensive mind, offensive guru proven behind them. That really matters. Your situation is what I speak on, and that's why it can be inconsistent because situations in the NFL are very inconsistent.
Oh, my final point would only be they do have Garrett Wilson, a rookie that's been balling. They do have Elijah Moore. They do have Breece Hall, who was balling and was going to win Offensive Rookie of the Year before he tore his ACL. I mean, it's not like they're lacking weapons over there, and their defense is legit.
So, to close it out, Jimmie, you think teams should continue to trade up draft capital for aging quarterbacks or average quarterbacks that can potentially take them to the next level?
I believe teams should do it. Yes, I do believe teams should still do it.
I believe so too in certain cases.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess I'm the lone wolf in this one. I'm a stick by my stance on developing young quarterbacks. I take a bridge quarterback and be a bad football team for 1 year to give up my capital. But you know what? That just may be the reason why my Atlanta Falcons just aren't as good as I think they are. So anyway, we're gonna get to the next topic. What we got, Jimmie?
We're going to run it down. We're going to stay negative for just a little bit. But hopefully in a couple generations, these teams can turn it around. We're going to talk about the 3 teams that are setting up for failure going forward. Who are y'all going to run it down with the trash teams for the next decade or two?
Go ahead, Darius.
All right, man. I'm going to have to bring it to the New Orleans Saints. The New Orleans Saints. This team is 3-7. Yes, I'm turning. I'm backpedaling. I'm backpedaling right now on my Super Bowl pick. I am. It's unfortunate, but this team is 3-7. They have no real strength at this time. I mean, the defense is solid, but can't be complimented because the offense is horrible. They've been plagued with injuries all year. We don't know what Michael Thomas is probably one of the highest paid receivers in the league. This man hasn't played in 3 years. So we don't know when he'll play football ever again. But he got money. He's good. He's set for life.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, congratulations, brother. Marshawn Lattimore, they haven't had him for several weeks now. They lost their first round draft pick that they traded. That they gave Philly, right? Philly now has a top 5 pick because that's the Saints draft pick. So they lost their top draft pick in Trevor Penning right in the preseason. Jarvis looks like a shell of himself. He can't stay healthy. And he's only on a 1-year deal, so he's gone next year. I know he's going to want to play for a contender. Flip the coin. Who you want? Who you want to play this week? James Winston or Andy Dalton, because the results is going to be the same. It don't matter. I mean, The defense is like right in the middle of the road, but again, the offense is so poor that the defense gives up 25 points a game.
Mm.
This team, they don't have their first round draft pick, which is going to be possibly a top 5 pick. Rumors are looking like Alvin Kamara may potentially get suspended next year. So he's not going to get suspended this year, but there's a possibility he may get suspended next year. And they were talking about potentially trading him this year. So you got that there. You have no one behind him. Mark Ingram, come on now. He's just an older vet at this point. And this is last year in his deal. This team has the worst cap space in the league. They have negative $46 million. They can't even go out and get talent. They can't even go out and get players. They don't have no draft picks. I don't see it going well. And the small pieces that they do have, like Marcus Davenport at defensive end, who's playing solid, this is last year in his deal. So you can't even pay the guys the talent that you have, and the talent you do have isn't even playing. So,
and the defense old.
So I don't know. Yeah, I don't see it looking too well for this Saints organization because they got no quarterback and they can't go out and get one.
Okay. Where you at with it, Don?
Which one y'all want? Y'all want the one that's gonna probably piss one of y'all off the most?
Yes.
One of my teams, is that team Jimmie got on his shirt. I mean, what are they after this year? Like, I literally want to know, what are they? Because Tom Brady has this mega TV deal waiting on him once he retires. Okay. They're not doing nothing this season to make him even say, like, oh, yeah, we have a chance of winning a Super Bowl next year. So what are they? Their O-line is trash. And Mike Evans and Chris Godwin stay injured. So after Brady, what happens? I literally want to know what happens after that.
I have no pushback. I'm gonna say it on my chest since I got it on my chest. You know what I'm saying? The reason I'm here, the reason I got this on my chest is because the GOAT. So let's just understand, my energy is gonna be very different if he's there or not. I might just rip this off if he's not there. Put the New England on real quick. But anyway, with or without the GOAT, I believe the Bucs will do decent because I believe in Todd Bowles. I believe Todd Bowles can do some things, and that defense is very, very young. Very, very young. And this is a team, like we looked at the Colts a couple years back, or just last year, all they need is a quarterback. We'll be saying the same thing about the Bucs for a while. If they can keep the Mike Evans, Chris Godwin just got a new contract, I believe they can do some things. And then that division is not very favorable. If you're going against that division, it's pretty favorable. So a quarterback coming in, Deshaun, if he was potentially available, that'd have been beautiful. You know what I'm saying? So Derek Carr, put Derek Carr on that team. I believe they can do a little something. We spoke on him earlier. The Bucs will be fine. Just give them some time because they have aging guys entering their prime.
You know what? I can agree with Jimmie on this one. They got a young second level defense. I mean, you still got some talent up front. I think there's a young guy from Houston on that defensive line that they like. You still got Vita Vea, who's one of the top defensive tackles in this league, as far as a run stuffer. You got a young secondary. You got a guy in Ricard White as a backup running back who actually played well this week, who they like. I think the issue is once Tom Brady leaves, you have nothing to there's no guy that
successor.
Successor that's gonna take, like, you don't have Jimmy G. You don't have but that's who was supposed to take over for Tom. Remember, they wanted to get rid of Tom.
That might be their successor right there.
You can't forget that. So you're right. They have the coaching staff that this team will still compete, and they still have weapons. They still got Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. I mean, what else do you need? I'm sorry, Julio. After this year, I don't see him playing anymore.
So let me get this straight. Are y'all saying the Bucks are still going to be good because of their coaching staff and because of the players that's around, regardless if Brady isn't there?
I think they have enough young talent to be a solid team and to complement them with a good coaching staff. The issue is there's no successor behind Tom Brady, so they need to find another quarterback. It may be Derek Carr. Your boy.
Hey, don't put that on me.
Your man.
Now you back to me. Now you back to me.
My only pushback would be when they had Jameis Winston, that defense was pretty good. They had Chris Godwin, they had Mike Evans, and they wasn't doing nothing until Tom Brady got there.
Is this
We
really
talking about
argument?
30 for 30.
Hey,
We talking 30 for 30 Jameis. But
no, but I'm just saying because you said because of the players and because of the coaching staff, and I just don't see that much of a difference between the situations. Once Brady is gone, I don't see. Once Brady is gone, I don't see the difference between before he got there and post Brady.
This is one of the best situations in the league. You're talking about a defense you can hang your hat on, you can lean on, a division that's favorable in the favorable conference as well. You're talking about Todd Bowles, someone who has a championship under his belt, and then you're talking about a team who also is like the Raptors. The Raptors were a hot commodity because they had won a championship. You have people there who have championship pedigree, and the Bucks have that. And so we're going to be talking about teams like we were saying, quarterbacks, veteran quarterbacks coming to plug and play because all the Bucks are missing going forward is a quarterback. Now their center also is coming back. That will help that line be better than Boo Boo because it has been recently.
yeah, I could agree. I think they have some young talent, and they may be the for the next few. Again, we don't know when Tom Brady's going to stop playing. So let's just say he plays at least one more year. After that, they may become that Colts. They may be the next Colts organization to keep plug and playing these veteran quarterbacks to see which one hits.
Mm-hmm.
Shoot, probably next year, even with Brady, even if he's there, I don't still think the Bucks are on that.
Yeah, there's a lot of quarterbacks in this draft class that can slide into like the third round and be you never know.
Mm-hmm. For me, man, it's the Commanders, the Raiders, and the Packers. Those are the three teams to me are set up for failure. When you want to talk about a quarterback making or breaking the deal, it's going to be Green Bay because
Jimmie got a vendetta out on Green Bay.
No, I mean, I'm just calling how I see it. Now, see, the thing is, when Brady exits New England, there's already leadership there. But the way Brady affects the Bucks culture is not like how Green Bay's Aaron Rodgers, that bad man, affects their culture. And because of that, once he leaves, you'll see the effects of what you didn't cause in Green Bay. It's going to be turmoil. Matt LaFleur, we're going to see him potentially move into office coordinator position elsewhere because I feel like a head coach is just a little bit too much for him. And that's okay, Matt. And we're talking about Green Bay, a smaller situation. We're not talking about the New Yorks, the LAs, the big market teams. If you're not able to do it there, where else can you do it? That front office also doesn't make moves like that. And free agency in the draft, they're pretty stagnant typically. The last 20 years has been based off of hitting on Brett Favre and then leaning on Aaron Rodgers, hitting on Aaron Rodgers, and hoping that you hit on Jordan Love because you haven't done anything for your roster to accelerate.
That was
a true reach. It's utterly ridiculous. From there, I'm gonna go to the Raiders. The Raiders, their division is difficult. You're talking about Josh Jacobs potentially being out of there. He's on his final year of his contract. Derek Carr, we just highlighted him potentially being out of there. The GM has to do a lot with these picks these next couple of years. He has to be the guru behind evaluating talent, being able to get that defense at least. at least to be able to where they're competing. Because in that division, you really need your defense to be able to do a little bit of something, get after the quarterback, or be able to lock up in some way, shape, or form on the back end. And I'm gonna close it out with the Commanders. Those Commanders got the dub tonight, but they've been losing when it comes to the ownership for a long time. The Commanders' ownership is utter blasphemy, utter trash, a disgrace to sports, a disgrace to all things involving morals. So, with that being said, it's a trickle down effect. When you're rotten at the top, it's bound to trickle down to even the fans, the ball boys. They probably feel it. So, with that being said, I got the Commanders looking poo-poo for years to come.
Damn, the Commanders ball boys can't even get the pressure in the footballs right. Jeez. Man.
I would only push back on the Commanders because it looked like they about to sell the team. So maybe it changes how it goes on the day-to-day process.
Sure, the whole team name might change. So I guess if it fits, it ships.
I guess. Well, because you said one of my teams, I had the Raiders as well.
Okay.
I feel bad for my man Devontae Adams because his Super Bowl aspirations looks like it just went out the door. He not getting that ring with the Raiders. I don't even know how long Carr is going to be there. I won't be surprised if McDaniels and this Raiders organization get ahead and drafts either Stroud or Young. And they sit behind Derek Carr for a year, and now McDaniels has his guy that he can develop, and he's not inheriting Derek Carr. Josh Jacobs, they already told him, we don't want you. We're not picking up that fifth year option. So he's out of there. That defense is piss poor, and you're in a very, very tough division. So I agree with you. That Raiders organization looks like the future is dwindling very quickly. Also, Waller and Renfro. I mean, it looks like a little regression. That happens sometimes when players get paid. I mean, now Waller's injury prone. So I don't think it's gonna happen with this team anymore. My third team will be the Arizona Cardinals. I did say I was gonna get to that boy Kyler Murray because unfortunately he's another one that hasn't progressed. He's kind of very stagnant in his play. The only thing I can give Kyler, he's a very accurate quarterback. His accuracy is top tier.
He's good at Call of Duty.
And he's good at Call of Duty. Look at that. Maybe he got the new one.
The top tier.
Yo, Kyler, can I play Warzone with you, bro? I'm down to play Warzone. But we gotta say how it is. Like on paper, this Cardinals team is scary. Like I'm not gonna lie. Like they got talent. They got the quarterback. They paid him. That's the franchise. Mm-hmm. You got James Conner, who is a touchdown machine when healthy. You got D-Hop, Jimmy's boy, D-Hop.
Top five.
He said D-Hop top. He said. You know what? I'm gonna leave that for another day.
Hey, we need to get this man top five because I heard top five earlier for Justin Jefferson.
He said D-Hop was the best receiver. So they got D-Hop, right? But again, there's another team that's been plagued with injuries. That now Zach Ertz is done for the year. The defense, they create turnovers, but they give up a lot of yardage on the air and the ground.
Yeah,
they're giving up a lot of points. And then Kyle is arguing with Cliff. Cliff is losing the team. Kyle is arguing with D-Hop. What's going on? Cliff needs to get out of there. They need a change of. I think they need to change the culture as well. They need to get a new coach in there. They need to hear a new voice because I think Cliff is losing this team. But they got some type of foundation. But if they continue to keep this coaching staff, it's going to get worse than what it is now.
Me and you are on the same page with them Arizona Cardinals. I mean, I just feel like they just kept compounding problems. Cliff Kingsbury is not a good coach. Gave him extension. Gave the GM extension. What they do next? Compound the problem by giving Kyler Murray extension. I mean, I don't know. I guess they was in a tough spot. Like, you can't just let Kyler walk and you don't have another like situation after. But if you got to put a clause in your quarterback's contract that they have to study 4 hours a week, that tell you right there, bro. Head just it's not. He doesn't just care about winning like the Tom Brady's and all these other guys. Tom Brady got a whole divorce because he loved football that much. like,
Yes.
like, come on, man. Like,
That's true love.
Right? True love.
I mean, his wife was just spotted out with another man tonight, man. Come on, man.
Oh man.
Wait, is that right?
No, I seen that.
Oh wow.
Let's go
Okay.
ahead. Let's go ahead.
I mean, they gave him 5 years, $230 million, and I just feel like the Arizona Cardinals are like a middle of the pack team. They're never going to be too good, and they're never going to be too bad to really help their situation. So they're not going to get no top players coming through there. They seem like they only pick up old, washed players like AJ Green, JJ Watt. They're not that team. I mean, I just don't see what they're going to do to fix their situation. My other team, I ain't gonna say it's personal, but I would love to see them be trash for the next couple of years. The Pittsburgh Steelers. I mean, their QB situation is hilarious to me. You draft Kenny Pickett. Now, I wasn't the biggest Kenny Pickett or Malik Willis guy, so I probably would have, if it was me, I probably would have just been sorry this year. But since they have Mike Tomlin, they can't have a losing season. So they go get Kenny Pickett. They have Mitch Trubisky. Okay, now the season isn't turning out like how you thought it was going to be. What's going to happen now? Y'all probably going to have like a top 5, top 7 draft pick. CJ Stroud's there. Bryce Young's there. Will Levis is there. What are you going to do? Because I feel like all those guys are better than Kenny Pickett. So are you just going to stick with Kenny Pickett and then basically be stuck with average or below average quarterback play from Kenny Pickett? Or you going to have to create a mess and draft another quarterback and then still have Kenny Pickett there and then try to figure out how you're going to get up off of Kenny Pickett? I just feel like they rushed their quarterback decision too fast when they could have drafted somebody better. They could have fixed their O-line. It was plenty of stuff they could have done instead of just going and get Kenny Pickett, who we saw is not the answer. Bruh has only thrown two touchdowns and has thrown 8 interceptions, putting up Josh Allen numbers. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Don't disrespect that man. He been disrespecting. He been disrespecting Josh Allen all night.
Hey, I'm just calling it how I'm seeing it. I'm not just giving these people a pass. But hey, all I'm gonna say is, Steelers, y'all keep on doing what y'all doing. I'm loving it, and that's all I got.
I don't think you're loving it too much because the last 2 decades, I'm so sorry, cuz the last 2 decades, the Steelers have been wiping your nose. So I don't think you're liking it too much. And Mike Tomlin has been part of the reason why they've been wiping your nose. Mike Tomlin is consistent on another level.
They ain't gonna do that no more. I can promise you that.
And you talking about the quarterback position with Kenny Pickett. Give Kenny Pickett an opportunity. This man is a rookie. And Trubisky, imagine Trubisky all year long.
It might be better.
No, Kenny Pickett came in against the Buccaneers actually with my chest.
Mm-hmm.
He came against the Bucs and actually motivated them. Trubisky did in getting that win. Yes, that's a beautiful sign for Trubisky. Trubisky with this team, with that defense, he's not able to lean on the defense in that division. In that division, you have to put up points. In that division, you have to compete with the Joe Burrows. That division, Lamar Jackson is. Like, you are the worst quarterback, but they also have the best coach, so they'll be fine.
Kenny Pickett ain't putting up points either with them boys either. Kenny Pickett is turning the ball over more than any one of them.
Can we give him an
Man, stop.
opportunity?
He's definitely a rookie. You got to give him some time to develop. And you also, sometimes it goes with a good story.
Let me ask you this:
The kid's a hometown.
Is Kenny Pickett going to be better than C.J. Stroud or Bryce Young?
We don't know. We don't know.
All projection, because that's all you can really do.
We don't know what kind of situation they're going to be in.
I mean, we're over here.
If I was able to see the future, man, it'd be a wrap, man. I'd be a millionaire.
What?
And
I've been on the Ethereum a long time ago.
Yo, I gotta
give Kenny some time to develop. He does have a good coaching staff around him. When you got Mike Tomlin, you can't count this team out ever. TJ Watt can't stay healthy, and I saw a stat that the Steelers are 1-8 without TJ Watt. So you just see what type of dynamic he brings to the game. Minkah Fitzpatrick has been out. So again, this team has not only been plagued with injuries, they've been plagued with the Ben Roethlisberger plague for the last few years. Him kind of staying longer than what he needed to. But again, they got some talent. They got a defense. They got an okay defense. They got to build up that O-line. They still got Deontay Johnson. They still got George Pickens, Pat Freiermuth. I don't know about Najee's future, man. I don't see him being that guy as far as a top 10 running back every single year. But I don't know.
All I heard was a whole bunch of average just now. All them names you just named, straight average.
See, and that's the issue right there. And this is coming from a New England fan. When you have a great mind up there, it doesn't matter what's average on the field. You're able to maximize that revolving door, Miami Heat, some type of shit like the Spurs.
Why haven't they maximized that to more wins this season?
It's his first year. This is Mike Tomlin's first year.
Like, don't ignore Mason
He had
Rudolph.
more wins with Mason Rudolph.
Yes,
literally.
That's a below average.
He won with Duck Hodges. My whole point is Kenny Pickett is the problem.
They have a worse O-line. They have no run game. Najee doesn't look the same as he did his rookie year. Their best defensive players haven't even been playing throughout the whole year. So there is some other issues besides just Kenny Pickett. And he's also a rookie. You're playing with a rookie quarterback.
I agree with that. What is so wrong with the situation? Deontay Johnson.
Is he a top 20 receiver, Chris Godwin?
Where's
the line?
I could say Deontay is a top 25 receiver.
That's fair. Where's the line at?
Out of 32 teams, top 25 isn't bad.
But I'm just saying, 32 teams, top 25. You're talking about a number one receiver for a rookie quarterback along with a line in a run game with a mind. Like, Kenny Pickett don't have that. Like, Joe Burrow inherited a great situation. Justin Herbert inherited a great situation. Josh Allen inherited a great situation. Great coach too. He only has one of the two.
I don't agree with that. Like, Joe Burrow didn't have Jamar Chase when he first got there, and he was still putting up numbers. He had washed AJ Green that was constantly injured. He had T. Higgins, the rookie T. Higgins also, and then he had Tyler Boyd. So my problem is the Steelers. I follow a Steelers fan. He was saying Steelers have a baby version of the Bengals. Take Deontay Johnson. They had Chase Claypool at the beginning, and they had Pickens. So my thing, and then they had Najee Harris. People were saying Najee Harris was better than Joe Mixon at the beginning, and then they had Pat Freiermuth. So now that stuff isn't working out for them. Now I'm supposed to cop a plea and be like, nah, it's a rookie QB. They said Kenny Pickett was going to be better than Joe Burrow. I've seen that take.
Yeah, I don't know who you listen to. Yeah, I don't know who that guy is, but it's not me.
Please.
And I think the Steelers are, if not that, besides the Ravens in that division that can turn things around.
You think they can turn things around?
I think Mike Tomlin and Jim Harbaugh are better coaches and have more pedigree in the league than Zach Taylor.
Oh, 100%. Zach Taylor, he's hit and miss on any given week.
So
You're ready to.
I'm just not too high on the Steelers and their situation. But hey, I guess we're gonna find out.
I don't think you ever be too high on them, you Cincinnati Bengal fan. But from there, we'll go into the mid-season player awards and final predictions. This is a beautiful topic here because let's go rapid fire. Beautiful. Let's run it down. MVP, I got Patrick Mahomes. I still got him. You feel me? Offensive player of the year, I had Lamar Jackson. X that out. I was dead wrong. Tyreek, please stand up, and he's done so. 20K, 200K, maybe. Anywho, defensive player of the year, Aaron Donald. X that out. I don't know what happened with that. I can't even defend it. Parsons, I believe Parsons will be that guy. I'm talking about someone who's tied for 6 when it comes to sacks, 8 in total. And then if not Parsons, I believe it's Sauce or Patrick Surtain. They'll throw a corner in there, potentially. Offensive rookie of the year, I have Malik Willis. Like you said, he can't throw that ball very well yet. But from there, I go Kenneth Walker. I believe he's a central part of that Seahawks team that is overperforming. Exceeding expectations. And from there, I go rookie defense of the year. I had Sauce Gardner. I'm looking seriously right with that one. 13 pass deflections. He's looking like that guy, a number one corner for years to come. Comeback player of the year, I had Michael Thomas. You're paid, fella, but you're not going to be the comeback player of the year for this year. That is Geno Smith, another Seahawk, another guy who was doing something that we didn't think would happen. Some people out here are taking Geno over Russell. From there, we will go to Coach of the Year. I had Sean McDermott, the real Sean. He was standing up, and then he sat his ass down. And Pete Carroll stood up for them Seahawks yet again. Seahawks. Anyway.
All right. Wow. Yeah. So I'm kind of in the same boat with a lot of these, Jimmy. You right on the money, man. Mid-season award. I'm giving an MVP as far as Patrick Mahomes. Mm-hmm. Without Tyreek Hill, without your top guy leading the league in touchdown passes and overall passing yards, and this Chiefs team is 7-2. But eventually, at the end of the season, I'm going to stick with my MVP that I chose at the beginning of the year, and Josh Allen, because I think that this Bills team will turn things around. So I'm going to stick with my MVP at the end of the year. Offensive player of the year, I had Justin Jefferson because I thought out of anybody in the league, he has the type of talent. He's better than Jamar Chase. He has the type of talent to win that Triple Crown. And you see what he does. He either goes big or go home. He either gives you nothing or he takes everything. I'm taking it all. I want the cookies, I want the chips, and I want the drink all in one. That's what he does. He's a big playmaker. And hey, come to Atlanta, bro. We pay you well over here. But anyway,
he's stuck in mediocrity.
But anyway, that was my offensive player of the year. But I got to give it to Tyreek Hill. He leaves the Chiefs. Go gets the bag from Miami. He's playing with Tua, not Patrick Mahomes. He drops down to Tua, but we respect Tua. And now he's on a pace for 2K yards. Hey, you that guy. Defensive player of the year. I think I had Myles Garrett because I thought that he would dominate this year for that Browns defense. But it looks like Micah Parsons, man, oh man, that's a bad man right there. Leads the league in pressure rate. Has 8 sacks, and 3 forced fumbles. Every time I turn on the TV to watch a Dallas Cowboys game, he's making plays. He's flying around the field. He's dominating O linemen. He's dominating running backs. He's a big playmaker. We had a discussion about him long term potential Hall of Fame. So offensive rookie of the year, I had Drake London. The reason why I had him, it was by default. I thought that he'll get the opportunity because he'll be the number one guy in Atlanta. But Jimmy, you read on the money with this. Kenneth Walker, leads all rookies with 7 rushing touchdowns, not in rushing yards. Damian Pierce has that, but overall as a package, you could just tell the talent. He steps in for a Rashad Penny, an injured Rashad Penny, and takes over immediately for that Seahawks team and helps them to multiple wins, just like Geno Smith has. You see when the Tampa Bay Buccaneers stopped him on a run game, what did he do? He changed direction, right? He pivoted, and he's able to help him out on the passing side as well. So this guy's a good talent. He's a good player. Jimmie was right on the money, man. Sauce Gardner as defensive rookie of the year. I had Aiden Hutchinson. I thought Aiden Hutchinson would be that guy this year. We'll see what Detroit is looking like on defense. But you're right on the money with Sauce Gardner. Has the 3rd highest rated Pro Football Focus grade in coverage behind Patrick Surtain, who's a talent, and your boy from the Patriots. What's the rookie name?
Jack Jones.
Behind Jack Jones and Patrick Surtain. That's some Patrick Surtain is good company to be around. But leads the league in pass deflections, and he's looking like a top guy, able to take out your number 1 receiver. Comeback player of the year. I have like mixed emotions with this, man, because at the beginning of the year I was like, Saquon's my guy. But also I thought maybe CMC can get it, because when these guys play, it's electric. This is you want these guys to be in. This is just like your top quarterback being in the league. You want these guys to really be in the league, to really be healthy for a full season, because it's electric. They change games. They change dynamics. Saquon, I still am going to stick with Saquon as far as the comeback player of the year. Leads the league in rushing after 2 injury seasons, and has this Giants team winning games. He's led them to 2 game-winning drives. Saquon is a game changer. He's a big playmaker, game changer. But I won't be surprised if Geno Smith wins comeback player of the year, because he's having his career year this year, and he's helping the Seattle team win when we counted them out once Russ got out of there. So I won't be surprised if Geno wins, but I'm going with Saquon. I got to stick with my guy. And then by default, coach of the year, I had the real Sean, but I'm going to go with Coach Nick Sirianni, the Eagles. They're going to be the number 1 team in the NFL by the end of this year. I won't be surprised if they lose no more than 3 games. So by default, just by record, this Eagles team is going to get him the coach of the year.
So, I wasn't here at the beginning, so we're going to just go off just midseason awards.
For sure.
And do I think that they're going to – some of these people, I think, are probably going to win the award. So, like MVP, I got Mahomes. I mean, he's been breaking records even with Tyreek Hill. The offense look extra dangerous now. I just don't see – anybody that can actually challenge him for the MVP right now. Honestly, I'm not here for no Josh Allen talk. Maybe Tua, because he has like the stats because of Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, but it's not because of him really. But other than that, I think it's Mahomes' award to lose. Offensive Player of the Year, same as y'all. Tyreek Hill, on pace for 2,000 yards, and he got Tua looking like a franchise quarterback out there. And
he do.
Defensive Player of the Year, same as y'all, Micah Parsons. I mean, he has the best passer win rate. I mean, top 5 in pressures and tackles. At least that's when I looked it up. He was. It's just Micah Parsons. He's a problem. He's on that level of the TJ Watts, the Myles Garretts, and he probably might be better than both of them. And that tells you something, because them boys are problems. Defensive Rookie of the Year, same as y'all, Sauce Gardner. I mean, bruh can get put on the island with your number 1 wide receiver, and they don't got to worry about nothing on that side over there. Hey, trust me, I seen Jamar Chase go up against him, and he did something. I ain't gonna say he did a lot, but he did something over there.
Mhm.
And the only person I could see challenging him is Tariq Woolen, the cornerback out there in Seattle.
Seattle. Yep.
Bruh's balling also. Bruh did have a pick six that he returned. He does have 4 interceptions. He does have a block kick that resulted in a touchdown. Bruh, he might be the next Richard Sherman. And as far as offensive rookie of the year, I could have said who y'all said, but I looked at a guy in Damian Pierce and I was just like, bruh's pretty good. Not gonna lie.
He's not just pretty good. I mean,
Damn.
when you talk, I don't mean to cut you off.
Go ahead.
When you pick up guys when you find talent like that later in the draft, that's what builds foundations. That's what builds teams right there. Is when you find the golden nugget in the middle of the draft. It's not these top picks because there's high expectations for them. But when you find the guys in the 3rd to 5th round that shows out and that you can see is has potential star power, that's a guy right there. I like Damian Pierce.
And so that would be my only pushback to Kenneth Walker, even though Kenneth Walker is balling also, but Damian Pierce literally has nobody else on that team, and he's still able to get over 100 plus rush yards in multiple games. I mean, he has Davis Mills as his quarterback, literally Davis Mills. Comeback player, I got Geno also. He did what that man out there in Denver couldn't. Geno just is a good. Why you looking like that,
What
man?
has he done that Russell couldn't?
Russell couldn't get them to the playoffs last year, but hey, that's here nor there. That's here nor there. That's here nor there. You know what I'm saying? They're looking like a playoff team with Geno. Geno will wear a wristband, unlike what Russell Wilson was doing, and apparently that's what Pete Carroll likes. You know what I'm saying? And they on vert. Unlike that unlimited man out there in Denver, Geno looked like he about to go to the playoffs. But that's here nor there. Coach of the year, I got Brian Daboll. Honestly, the Giants was 4-13 last year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even think Giants fans thought they was gonna be this good. To be honest with you, granted
Giants fans is very surprised.
Yeah, they do have an easy schedule. I get that because they was like one of the sorrier teams in the league. But I mean, that team has beaten the Ravens already. That they beaten the Packers, the Titans. And their defense is pretty legit. So with that being said, the scheme to on the offense also, they literally are Saquon Barkley or nothing, and they still find ways to win. So with that being said, I would have to go with Brian Daboll.
But it's also culture, right? It's a culture change for them. You see how amped he gets on the sideline. You see him getting to that offensive lineman. He let the offensive line hear it this past weekend, multiple times, not just once. It's also other guys stepping up. Yes, this offense is all Saquon or nothing, but you see Wendell Robinson. He has a good week. You see Darius Slayton, given the opportunities that he's given, take advantage of that. So, and you're right, this defense is not a joke. It definitely is not someone you want to sleep on. The only thing I have about Damian Pierce, the only pushback, because I like your list as well. We actually all of our lists pretty much was very similar, to be honest. Only thing about Damian Pierce is that he doesn't have the touchdowns that Kenneth has.
That's true.
But he has the yardage to back it up. It's just Kenneth is putting up more points.
That is true.
But you can't go wrong with either one, man. They're both really good players.
Respect. I really have no pushback either. I love the list. I almost picked Pierce. I ain't gonna lie. So
yep.
And as far as Dable, I almost picked him as well. I love Dable. The intensity, the passion. I love it. I love it now. And I love to
Do
see negative passion and positive passion. So I'm
do
all
y'all
with it.
think do y'all think Woolen can challenge Sauce for that defensive rookie of the year?
Oh yeah, I was debating on picking him, but I was like,
I think
I don't
Sauce
know,
has too much
Sauce.
hype. Sauce has too
Yeah,
much hype around
yeah,
him to
Box
lose,
office.
yeah,
He might as well
yeah.
die at the cornerback position.
and he's in New York, so
Yeah.
Six
Same.
three, 150, soaking wet, like
Mm-hmm.
clamping.
Mm-hmm. Let's get into these breaks. If we're gonna pump them floor, you know what I'm saying, we're gonna floor the acceleration all the way to the playoffs, deep
Like
playoff
this
runs. We're
one,
not
man.
talking about existence in the playoffs. We're talking about deep playoff runs, really being relevant when the season is coming down to the last couple weeks. Pump it, floor it, let's get it. AFC
Let's start
East,
it
let's start
off
there.
with the AFC East.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Jimmy started off. Pump it or pump the brakes or floor it on the Dolphins and the Jets.
Man, I'm gonna have to pump it on both of them, man. And this division is very difficult, but I believe them Bills are on that ass for a reason. And the Patriots, we coming too. The Patriot way is well and alive. It's well and alive. Anywho, had to throw it in there. We gonna pump the brakes on both of them, man. What's up with y'all? What y'all think on the AFC East?
Well, what you got, Don?
we talking about top teams in the division. He bring up the Patriots.
Yeah,
It's
right.
craziness.
The bottom one. The bottom
Yeah.
team.
We are 5-4. We are right there.
Damn it! All right, I'm pumping the brakes on both of them. They're cute stories. I mean, honestly, I don't believe in Tua. I damn sure don't believe in no Zach Wilson. Because at the end of the day, if they do make it to the playoffs, teams are going to load that box up and force Zach Wilson to beat them. And I do not think that's going to happen. So I'm pumping the brakes on both of those teams. Buffalo is Buffalo, so Buffalo might come back and win that division. But
Finally.
So, y'all gonna pump the brakes on both these teams. I am gonna floor it on the Dolphins.
Oh, okay.
Because of the scheme, because of that offensive mind out there. I'm gonna say that this team is gonna be scary, and Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle is still gonna show everybody they the best duo in football as far as a receiving core. But I'm definitely pumping the brakes on that Jets team. I just don't believe in Zach Wilson. The defense is top tier, and I don't believe in the weapons that they have offensively for them to compete long term for the remainder of the year. So I'm going to pump the brakes on that because the Bills is coming back.
Quick question. Do you think the Dolphins can go into Arrowhead, Orchard Park, Paycor Stadium? Well, let me just say the teams then. Do you think they can go to the Bills, the Chiefs, the Bengals, the Ravens, and win?
Yes.
If they had to beat two, well, maybe even three of those teams, you think they can make it to the Super Bowl?
Yes.
I
You talk about a Jets team that has beaten the Patriots that year, clutch time. You talk about them beating the Ravens earlier this year in clutch time. You talking about Tyreek Hill having a chip on his shoulder going to Arrowhead, playing against his former team with his type of talent. We better stop sleeping on Jalen Waddle like he not a top dog in this league. You talk about top tier. I'm taking him over a lot of these other players. I'm taking him over Godwin.
That's no debate. I'm taking him over Mike Evans.
Whoa. I don't know, man. Mike Evans been consistent. We talk about a long catalog here compared to Jalen Waddle's very short-lived career so far. So,
When bro putting up numbers like this, it's not hard to see.
But I think defensively they have the veterans that can possibly get it together. I don't know. Xavier Howard fell off a little bit this year. He hasn't been playing that well. Javon Holland, I think he was the best safety commander out of that draft. between him, Richie Grant, and Maheg from the Raiders. So I mean, they still this team is not to be slept on. And offensively, they can put up numbers just as well as any of these other teams.
Their defense is the problem.
It is.
I definitely agree about them Dolphins. They have opportunities because of offense. But beating those top tier teams, I don't believe so. They have a chance, yes, but
And they have a loser record in playing in the cold. I seen it on TV earlier. I should have recorded it to bring it here, but I'm not too sold on them. I'm not gonna lie to you.
and from there we will go AFC North. Pump it, floor it, Ravens, Bengals. The Bengals is in the house. We'll let you do your thing since this is your division last year. Go ahead.
Don, we'll let you take this over, man.
Hey, I don't even got to bring up the Bengals. Y'all know where I stand on them. The Ravens, I'm pumping the brakes, honestly. Like you said, can they make it to the Super Bowl? When you get into the playoffs, teams are going to load that box on Lamar. We've already discussed it. Lamar is 1-3 in the playoffs. I've not seen that Lamar can deliver in the playoffs. And I'm not sold on that Ravens team. So, therefore, I'm slamming on brakes. I'm making a U-turn. I'm doing whatever I got to do to go the other way because I'm not sold on them at all. You know, that team right there, I'm gonna just let them prove y'all wrong. And then I'm going to revisit this with y'all. And I'm going to be like, I told y'all so. And the only thing I'm going to want from y'all is to say, you know, Don, you was right. We should have listened to you. That's all I'm on.
No.
Oh, man.
I don't give a damn if the Bengals win the Super Bowl this year. I'm talking about prove way too soon. Pump the brakes on that.
On who? On that statement?
You know, you continue to speak as if the Bengals have done something for a duration of time. They have not. One hit of quitters until proven otherwise. If they prove it this year, you would have been right in projection, but not as far as them proving something last year based off of one hit of quitter.
So that's all you can. That's all you can do is prove. That's all you can go off of is what have you done for me now, league, right? So we can only go off of what you did last year, right?
Proof is based off time, not based off of one projection, like one.
Well, Jimmie, are the Bucks the Super Bowl contender this year?
Yes, they've been the last 3 years.
Stop it! You've lost.
I'm not going to stop it because the Bucks defense is actually legit. The Bengals defense, now Tom Brady with weapons, Joe Burrow with weapons, Tom Brady with more protection, Joe Burrow with less protection, easier path. You talking about
that old line for the Bucks? That old line for the Bucks ain't that good either.
It's better than the Bengals, I promise you.
I ain't going that far.
Every O-line is damn near better than the Bengals.
Yeah, come on.
The Bengals have been their O-line has been getting it together. I will tell you this: they've given up a lot of sacks to the Steelers, the Cowboys. That was the first two games of the season. Mm-hmm. So the numbers are going to look crazy because they gave up 13 sacks in the first 2 weeks. After that, it's maybe 2 sacks here, 1 sack there. It's not that crazy anymore, to be honest with you. I mean, the Browns had a field day, but other than that, it's not that crazy. It's only when they face top pass rushes.
And top pass rushers are in the playoffs. But go ahead, though.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah, exactly. So when you get to the playoffs, you got the Titans, you got the Chiefs, who's been coming along lately.
Who are they top pass rushers?
Chris Jones.
Are you serious?
Chris Jones.
They've gotten at least three. They've gotten
Chris
at least
Jones.
3 to 5 sacks in the last 5 games.
Chris Jones. We're not bringing up old washed up Carlos Dunlap. We are not doing that, and we're not bringing up Frank Clark. We're not doing that.
Enough. Chris Jones is more than enough. Top 5 at his
I give you Chris Jones. You see, I didn't say nothing for the Titans. I give you all that. I've seen these teams. Trust me, I've seen these teams. I'm just not in the belief of the Dolphins, the Ravens. I mean, the Bills. I would say the Bills definitely can get home with us with Von Miller and them. But nah.
I feel it. Y'all ready to go south? From the north to the south we go.
Y'all didn't say what are y'all pumping the brakes or y'all flooring it? Yeah, I needs to hear this.
I don't want to. Go ahead, cuz. Go ahead.
Did you? So you pumped the brakes on the Bengals?
I'm pumping the brakes on the Bengals. I'm pumping
What
the
about the
brakes on the
Ravens?
Ravens. I'm pumping it up. And the reason I'm pumping it up is because Lamar Jackson, I need you to show me something. With that arm, 1-3, I thought you 1-2. I mean, 1-3 is just I can't. I'm not going to speak.
You gave him the benefit of the doubt.
I can't give it to him anymore. You're at the quarterback position, and your biggest weakness is your arm. What the hell? It won't work. Now, Bengals. Again, it's the line. We've dissected the Bengals today. We're not going to dissect them too much more. The line needs to improve, and that's why I'm pumping the brakes. The defense needs to be a little bit more consistent, sort of like last year. Surprise us all like last year. Don't be a one-hit wonder.
Bro, this season they didn't allow a second half TD since until the Cleveland Brown game. That was 7 weeks they didn't allow a second half TD.
I'm gonna pump the brakes on the Bengals only because of the simple fact. Only because of the simple fact they don't have Jamar Chase. I said Florida, and the first time we did pump the brakes on Florida on the Bengals, but this time I'm pumping the brakes only because of the simple fact that they don't have Jamar Chase. We don't know when he's coming back. We don't know how healthy he'll be. We don't know how he'll play when he comes back. And also, this offensive line, I'm scared. I'm scared of this offensive line. Other than that, they have a solid foundation. But I'm going to pump the brakes because I don't think they're going to get it this year. And you know what? I'm going to floor it on the Ravens. They've been playing a little better lately. Their defense has been picking it up. They've been playing a lot better lately. Lamar Jackson is still on a mission to get paid. So, you know what? He believes in himself, so I believe in him. No matter how, inconsistent his arm may be, he is a dynamic player that can, change the game a little bit when he gets the ball in his hands and he's in space. So I'm a floor on the Ravens. Even though I did not have them in the playoffs at the beginning of the year, they're gonna win this division. Forget the Bengals. Get the Bengals out of here.
I'm gonna get a whiteboard. I'm gonna get a whiteboard and I'm gonna put it right here. And every time y'all say something crazy about the Bengals, at the end of the year, I'm just gonna read it off to y'all to say, this is what you said on this date. You know what I'm saying?
I haven't heard anything crazy yet because again, the sample size is way too small.
But hey, your cousin just chose the Ravens, who have proven nothing. Lamar Jackson has the opposite record of Joe Burrow in the playoffs. Joe Burrow is 3-1 in the playoffs, and Lamar Jackson 1-3. That sounds like that's blasphemy.
It's a smaller sample size.
But that's my point. But that's my point. If you're able to prove it in 1 year, what somebody has been trying to prove in multiple years.
So how can you tell me? How could you have told me the other day that Jamar Chase is better than Justin Jefferson when Justin Jefferson has done it consistently for the last 3 years?
He's only been in the league one more season than him.
That just proves my point right there. He has a bigger sample size. He's been in the league 3 compared to Jamar's 2. He's done it consistently more than Jamar.
Jamar Chase broke rookie records his first year in the league. What do you mean? He was on pace.
He only has a 1 year sample size. In his second year, he's hurt. You see, he got hurt. Injuries come with this. We don't know what's going to come into the future. I could predict that Michael Parsons is on a Hall of Fame path at the moment, but I don't know what he'll be. I don't know if he'll have that same longevity as Aaron Donald. So how can I say, yeah, he's going to be better than Aaron Donald? No, I don't know what he'll be in year 5, year 6. I don't know how that's going to be. So far, Justin Jefferson has showed me that he's a better player than a lot of these other receivers. That's why he's a top 5 receiver in the league.
You know what I don't like? You know what I don't like about that argument is because I could do some nonsense like what I'm about to do, and I could say, is Jamar Chase better than Tyler Lockett? Tyler Lockett been in the league way longer than Jamar Chase, but I could easily say, are you going to say Jamar Chase is better than Tyler Lockett, or are you going to say, oh, it's proven consistency?
Are you really gonna entertain
I
that?
can't say that because I'm not gonna entertain that. But you know what? He did get me upset, so I am gonna entertain it just slightly.
I
Because
told you it's about to be some nonsense coming.
It was some nigga nonsense. So
Some nigga nonsense.
so I can't. No, I'm talking about top tier receivers. We understand that Jamar is a top tier receiver, even though he did it in 1 year. It's a small sample size. But
So your only argument is just basically the years that they've been in the league, and I don't think that's a legitimate argument. Especially if both of them are putting up numbers.
So then I could say Tyreek Hill is the best receiver in the league. No,
you could say that.
I think Devontae Adams is the overall best receiver in the league.
Still,
as a package, yes.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Jimmie said D-Hop, but we gonna.
I said that in the beginning of the year when the Cardinals. First off, let's not act like D-Hop they come back and actually shake up the room. The Cardinals are just not worth shaking the room. D-Hop can't shake it by himself. Okay, D-Hop's talent is top tier. Okay, he's been doing it for years. Tyler Lockett out of here. I don't want to hear that. Hopkins has been doing it for years. Jamar and Justin are trying to be what Hopkins has been. Hopkins just has to be available. With age, with experience comes maybe durability issues, maybe situations where you're going against the law. Maybe you put yourself in a bad predicament because you've been in the league and done some dirt, and that's what Hopkins is dealing with. You just highlighted the Cardinals and the situation. It's not a great situation, and yet he was a great receiver. If he had a better situation, we would view it that way. Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, we're gonna have a whole segment because I'm about to break it down. I would break it down in a different way for you to be able to understand that Justin Jefferson situation is way worse than Jamar Chase. But that's neither here nor there. We're going to go into this AFC South, Titans, Colts segue because you're getting very emotional here. And it's okay. It's okay to get emotional.
I ain't emotional. I just like to state facts, and y'all tend to get upset by my facts, and I just like it seems like when it's a Bengals topic, y'all get ultra sensitive about the stuff that I say. You know what I'm saying?
Let me tell you something. I'd rather hear you, not the numbers. Don't let the numbers speak for you. Understand the numbers and then dissect them. Them numbers, first off, are very, very here. Let's expand it to understand what these numbers have been for Joe Burrow and these Bengals and that coaching staff, Zach Taylor, that defense. But neither here nor there. We're going to go south. We're going to take a trip south to the Titans, to the Colts. Floor it, pump it. What's up, cuz?
You already know I'm pumping the brakes on them Colts. Get Matt Ryan up out of here. Get them Colts up out of here. Give Jeff Saturday out of Sundays. Put him back on TV on Saturdays. Anyway, Get them Colts out of here. Only person I believe in is Jonathan Taylor. He finally had a good game. And he's healthy. Hopefully. But anyway, them Titans, I have mixed emotions with this team. Just give Derrick Henry the ball, and that's it. Don't do nothing else but give Derrick Henry the ball and let him just run and run and run because they can't pass. And that's going to be their downfall right there, and that's always been their downfall right there, that they can't pass the ball. They don't even got weapons on the outside.
Yeah, Robert Woods,
Treylon Burks. They had this rookie that was supposed to be great. They ain't seen him since week 2. So, but they got a solid run defense. They got a solid pass rush. So, I mean, but it's the issue with them is that they can't pass the ball. So I'm going to pump the brakes on both these teams and get them out of here.
Hey, I didn't know why it took you so long to say you pumping the brakes on the Titans.
I try to justify it. I try to find a way, but
it was no thought in my mind that they're in the like you said, Titans are just Derrick Henry or nothing. And if you put it in Ryan Tannehill's hand, God be with you, because
what happened last year.
Exactly. Brett threw an interception on the opening drive. First play of the game to Jesse Bates, to the Bengals, but we ain't gonna talk about the Bengals no more. The Colts. I literally did no type of research or anything. I literally just put LOL next to their name because it's the Colts. We are not about to talk about the Colts like they're the Colts are not even going to make the playoffs. They're probably not even going to get 6 wins. Like, this is just an indictment on how bad the AFC South is. So, with that being said, I'm pumping the brakes on both of them.
Man, y'all was poo-pooing on Matt and the Colts for a little too long. LOL, LOL. But we should do LOL to Frank Wright, right? That's what that was. Who wanted to bench Matt Ryan but not bench Carson Wentz. I want to hear that. Put Matt back in the game. Do your thing. Give him an opportunity because you have something under your belt, a Super Bowl appearance, and that means something. Yes, Joe Burrow, it means something. Now, anywho, we're gonna segue from the Colts to
Matt
the Titans.
Matt got an MVP too. Matt got a
Pro Bowl appearances too, huh? I don't give a damn about numbers. Now the Colts, I'm pumping the brakes on the Colts. Even though Matt Ryan's got an opportunity, he should. I'm pumping the brakes. The Titans, I'm a floor it. And the reason I'm a floor it is because the one team in the AFC that has a run game that's scary is them Titans. King Henry is here. And because of what has happened last year with Ryan Tannehill, I believe, you took my 3 interceptions last year, that it ain't even going to be an opportunity for him to fuck up the game. They're going to treat him like Jimmie Garoppolo. Jimmie Garoppolo with a little bit of weapons was still very effective. You can have a game manager when you can run the ball. And Mike Vrabel, he is great in game 7s. In the playoffs in football is game 7 after game 7 after game 7. He is a motivational guy like no other. So his coaching ability, his coaching style will be able to maximize his team at the time when it's needed in the postseason. I believe those Titans will make it to, it's very early to say, but at least a second round exit.
But let's just say if the player started today.
Mm-hmm.
We already know how Bill Belichick schemes. He takes out your best offensive weapon. And the Patriots actually has a really good run defense. So you think they're going to be able to run the ball over the Patriots? No. They're not going to be able to run the ball over the Bills? No. The Jets? No. Maybe the Dolphins? The Chiefs? No. Ravens?
Well, hold on. They did just run all over the Chiefs, but I'm still taking it. They just played the Chiefs last week.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. When he went on his streak, but you just saw what the Broncos did to them. They locked them up. But
the Broncos
again,
might be
top tier,
one of the best defenses you just named in that list.
Top tier defense.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't even really matter about the defensive rank. All you gotta do is just load that box. And do you really trust Robert Woods?
Did it last year.
Exactly. Do you really trust Robert Woods or Treylon Burks to beat your DBs one-on-one on a consistent basis?
Not this Robert Woods.
Median, and that's the point because he just come off the injury. If he can get back to the old Robert Woods, I believe middle of the field, he's very lethal. But
you trust Tannehill also?
No, but I just trust King Henry and the play style. Like when you're doing that when it's cold, you're talking about King Henry. One person we don't want to tackle is King Henry. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, but that play style didn't get them nowhere last year. They all I heard last year was they was going to run all over the Bengals in the playoffs. Bengals shut that shit down, like literally.
Yeah, your defense is not nearly as good as last year.
We have the same pieces. Like we're not about to keep going back to the Bengals, man. We're not about to keep going back to them
like that. Oh my gosh,
we're not. Because it's the teams that you be saying. It's the teams that you be saying over them. It just be blowing me. But we gonna go back to what you was talking about. You said the Titans. Only other pushback I heard from you. You said they're probably the most scariest running team. I would love to see the Titans compared to seeing the Ravens. Because with the Ravens, you got to still deal with Lamar and their running backs. They get their wide receivers, Prochet, and them involved. It's just a lot of constant motion, and you just don't know where they're going to hit you at. And they're an excellent running team.
That's fair.
Yeah, and I take Mark Andrews over anybody on the Titans as far as receiving threat.
That's fair. From there, we will go AFC West. We projected this would be the toughest division, and it's not really looking like that. It's looking like that AFC East is that. But AFC West, Chiefs, Chargers, pump it, floor it. What's good, cuz?
You already know, Chiefs. We're gonna floor it. You got Pat Mahomes. You got Travis Kelce. You got Chris Jones. You got some receiving. You got complementary players that are elevated with GOAT talent around. So when you got Kadarius Toney making plays, hopefully Juju gets healthy, we get him back. Miko Harmon, hopefully he gets healthy. This man's got Scantling having his career year. So, you already know. Florida on the Chiefs. The Chargers, man. Chargers actually didn't play bad this week against San Fran. I'm just hoping they can actually get into the playoffs finally, so we can see what they can do. So I'm a floor it and hope to see them in the playoffs. But I don't know. This offense is Austin Eckler right now or nothing because Keenan Allen and Mike Williams are hurt. So I don't know. I honestly don't know what to do with the Chargers. I'm going to say floor it because I want to see them in the playoffs. But I want to see a healthy Chargers offense in the playoffs.
I'm most definitely going to pump the brake on the Chargers. I'm so sorry. Like, there's a lot of pumping going on over here because I believe in those Chiefs. It's time to take it. This is Steph Curry in his prime. Patrick Mahomes in his prime. He's changed the game. We'll dissect how he changed the game in a later date, but Patrick Mahomes is in the middle of that peak. He's here. And we're flooring it all the way to the Super Bowl. Kansas City Chiefs. I'm here to say now I have the Bills as my number one team, and I still believe in the Bills. I believe the Chiefs will have to go through the Bills in order to get there. But I'm now changing it. I do not believe the Bills. No. I'm saying the Chiefs. Yeah, well, you can put it like that. Rematch and the Chiefs will take it. I believe in the Chiefs now. I'm a believer. Bills up out of here.
Bills up out of here. Yeah, you was just on the Bills earlier.
No,
Jesus.
Because you're disrespectful. You're very disrespectful. But I understand greatness.
Darius, how quickly 2 hours change an opinion.
Oh man!
I said a long time ago. Patrick Mahomes MVP. Patrick Mahomes proved a lot without Tyreek Hill. Ain't no switch up. Bills is the number 2 team. You just mad because the Chiefs are bottom 3.
Hey, that's fine and dandy.
I'm still with the Bills, man.
Hey, I'm glad to see you sticking with who you say. That's fine and dandy.
Stick with them
Chiefs. The Chiefs are the Chiefs. Everybody's going to flow up for the Chiefs. They have Patrick Mahomes. That's all you need. And the AFC Championship is probably going to run through Arrowhead. No problem for the Bengals. We can win there. But I'm pumping the brakes on the Chargers. The Chargers have so many injuries right now. I cannot justify flooring it for them. Like, they're missing Slater, Keenan Allen, Mike Williams. Everett just went out the other day. J.C. Jackson, Bosa. I mean, those are just some of their top players, and I can't do it. And y'all keep on saying, we need consistency or whatnot. Well, the Chargers have shown some type of consistency. The Chargers will charge something up and not have something good go for them. So I'm not going for the Chargers. Chargers are not making the playoffs probably. And they're they're definitely not making the playoffs now that I think about it. Yeah.
Okay. Now let's segue into this other conference. Rapid fire here, fellas. Pump the brakes, floor it. Bucks, Falcons. Let's get it.
I already said the Bucks is not a team I want to see in the playoffs. So a healthy Bucks team, I'm a floor it. They still have Tom Brady. They still have them weapons on the outside. I said if Julio comes back, that brings another threat on offense. He's back. So I'm gonna floor it on the Bucks and my Falcons. Man, I'm gonna be a little biased. I'm gonna floor it. Hopefully we get the running game going.
Yo,
yeah, man.
Yo, you got to relax. You got to relax.
I'm biased. I'm going with the hometown. You go with the Bengals. I'm going with
for legit reasons. We are not the same.
Hey, I'm gonna live and die on my team, man.
I don't know
Living
which one
down
of
my
y'all
team.
is like really like the
It's not know
blasphemy.
which one of
It's
y'all.
all
It's not know which
Eagles.
one of y'all.
It's all Eagles.
Mine is legit. The Brad just said the Falcons. They just lost to the Panthers.
You using the word consistency in Bengals is not legit. It's actually an oxymoron because you can't be consistent if you haven't put time in. So go put some time and then let's have this conversation again. Imagine me saying the New England Patriots. The blasphemy. But anywho, I'm gonna pump the brakes with them Falcons. I'm gonna pump it very fast because we're about to fly out with the motherfucking way. And next with the Bucks, we're flooring it. We're flooring it. And I believe the Bucks, since you think I'm switching up on the Bucks with my team out the NFC, they're still my team out the NFC. It's gonna be rematch Chiefs, Bucks, Brady, Patrick Mahomes, old GOAT, new GOAT, run it down. What you got, Don?
I'm slamming the brakes on both of these two teams. Bro, we are not about to be acting like the Bucks just figured out all their issues that they've had all season, and just because they got a lucky win against the Rams and they went over there in Germany and was feeling the energy and all that and got the win over the Seahawks. We're not doing that. Falcons, I literally put the same thing I put the Colts. LOL.
LOL
Like,
smiley face. LOL smiley face.
like they are not.
We will not accept any Falcon slander.
They are not worth. They are not worth our time. The worst thing they could do is continue to try to act like they're going to win this division. No, the Bucks. The Bucks. I really don't see that. I don't think they can beat Philly. I don't think they can beat the Cowboys again. I would think it would be an interesting match against the Giants, to be honest with you. Who else we got out there? The 49ers are going to dog walk them. Who else? Who Vikings? Oh, my God. Y'all don't want to see them boys there. Hell, if they matched up, from what I seen this Sunday, I might take the Packers over them, to be honest with you.
Come on, man. Stop it. Packers ain't even gonna make the playoffs.
I agree. I agree with that. I agree with that.
Compete. They could damn near compete with every single one of those teams. Only team that'll probably dominate them is Philly. Other than that,
The Vikings won't?
no, because the Vikings is gonna have to pass the ball because they're not gonna be able to run with Dalvin Cook. Their offense elevates even more when Dalvin's able to do his thing. And that Bucks defense is top tier as far as a run stopping unit. And all those teams run the football. Literally.
This is a fact. This is a fact. And fellas, I did say the NFC East. That was the NFC South. And because of that, we will segue to the actual NFC East, not the least anymore. Eagles, Giants, pump it, floor it. What's up?
Yeah, Don.
Eagles, we flooring it. They're too stacked. Yeah, they got their first loss tonight, but I mean, Hurts has elevated his game. They got AJ Brown, Devonta Smith. I mean, they're just stacked everywhere. They got big play Slay out there. Gardner just had another interception tonight. He leading the NFL. What can't the Eagles do? Literally. I mean, they can blow you out. They can win close games. I'm flooring it for them. The Giants, Daniel Jones. I'm pumping the brakes on them. I mean, in the playoffs, just the same thing as we said with the Titans. Teams are going to load that box and force Daniel Jones to basically make plays. I don't trust Daniel Jones. I really don't. And I know this team isn't top two, but the Cowboys, I would halfway floor it for them, to be honest with you, especially if they get Odell.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree on. Obviously, the Eagles is top tier. I'm gonna keep it very short because you already broke it down, Don, as far as everything that needed to be said. So we're gonna floor it on the Eagles. And as far as the Giants, yeah, I'm also gonna agree. Daniel Jones, I don't really believe in him. And if you stop Saquon, you're pretty much just gonna stop this offense. So I'm gonna pump the brakes. But I do think that Giants will get into the playoffs. I think they're gonna sneak into the playoffs. But not really sneak. They're probably going to win 10 games. Find a way to win 10 games with that weak schedule.
Right. I definitely agree they'll make the playoffs, but I'm going to pump them because they are not the Titans. Yes, you can run the ball. Yes, it is all about Saquon and Derek, and those quarterbacks are mediocre to say, the least. But, yeah, I'm going to pump them. I don't believe they'll make it far. The Eagles, I'm going to floor it. You already know what it is about the favorable schedule. And I'm a floor for the Eagles just based off of that. And
Nah, I ain't got
from
nothing.
there, fellas.
Hey, we all in agreement.
Don, you want to spit something? What's up? Okay. Okay, that's what a motherfucking shock.
Kumbaya.
From there, we're gonna go NFC North. We're gonna go to the north with those Vikings. I heard someone speak on Vikings earlier. I don't. Oh gosh, we're gonna pump the floor for the Vikings and the Packers. I'm gonna start this one off because the whole Viking Kirk Cousins thing, it just irritates me here, And just like I don't believe in Daniel Jones, I don't believe in Kirk Cousins. I don't believe him. I'm so sorry. The ability is there, but the consistency is not, and he's been consistently inconsistent, and that's the biggest red flag for me is how consistent you've been in a
No
negative way.
surprise.
And because of that, I'm gonna pump the brakes for them. And as far as those Packers, I'm gonna pump the brakes for them as well. These two teams are not going far. At all. The real 12.
Yeah, I'm going to pump the brakes on both of these teams as well. I don't believe in Kirk in prime time. So when the lights shine bright, that's when he, typically falls short. So that's what's going to happen to this Viking teams once they get into the playoffs. And as far as this Packers team, I didn't believe in them at the beginning of the year, really, and I still don't believe in them at this time. They've had the Cowboys' number. It's the Cowboys. So we are at the Vikings, right?
Yeah. I'm drifting on the Vikings. I'm hitting the brakes and I'm hitting the gas at the same time. I agree with you. I'm not too sold on Kirk Cousins in prime time, but the Vikings, they look like a legit team. I mean, they just went into Buffalo and beat Buffalo like how they did. So I don't know. I'm halfway on them.
Okay.
All right. Well, we got the last one.
Oh, yeah. We're going west with it. We're going west. Seattle. 49ers. Pump it. Floor it. What's good, Coach?
Seattle, great story. I'm gonna pump the brakes. I do think that they can possibly win at least one game in the playoffs. I think they're that hot as far as a team that they can still win. It might be against some Vikings. I won't be surprised. So, but I'm gonna pump the brakes because they're not a Super Bowl contender. But they will get into the playoffs, and I think they'll steal a game. As far as the 49ers, we're going to floor it. I still think this defense this front seven is top tier. I'm worried about the defensive backs. And then, as you can see, Kyle Shanahan is going with a committee as far as CNC and Elijah Mitchell, who finally came back and played well for this team. But I like this 49ers offense. I like their defense. I think they're another overall good roster, and I'm a floor it.
Okay. I'm gonna pump the brakes for the Seahawks. It's been nice. It's been cute, but it stopped last week. Well, this past week, it's over with for them. Done for from here. 49ers, we're flooring it all the way to the NFC Championship. I believe they will lose to the Bucs in the NFC Championship. Bucs, 49ers, and from there we're gonna go to Don. What's up, Don?
I'm pumping the brakes on Seattle. I mean, y'all said it. There's Seattle. The 49ers, it's kind of like the same thing with the Kirk Cousins thing. Like, I don't believe in Jimmy G, and I also don't really believe in Kirk Cousins. So it's like, what do you really do? Because you believe in the talent they have around them. So, like them, I'm drifting,
Mm-hmm.
All right. That was a good one, man.
Mm-hmm.
That was definitely a good one, man. We had a lot of spiciness in there, man.
Yeah.
Don got the Bengals winning the Super Bowl, being the most dynamic team all time.
Yeah. The emotion.
Hey, you got your Falcons going to the Super Bowl.
The emotion.
You saw I kept that. I kept that real quick. All I said was Florida, and that was it. I said, keep going. Hey man.
Definitely appreciate y'all for tuning in. Appreciate y'all, Don, and you, Cuz, for making this possible. This is a juicy one.
We also need to remind people to go ahead and like, subscribe, leave a comment.
Mm-hmm.
Just show some support.
For sure.
Yes, sir. And if you got any questions, you already know. Hit us up on YouTube, DM us on our page. No games, just business.
Just
3524.
Just business.
And until next time, peace.
We out.
This that COMEUP. Stand back while I do me. I'm the King James of this era. Do my best to be 2-3. You see the metaphoric beat destroying MC. They had to wait his turn, sit and learn from the OGs, but slowly I had myself out like a slowly. You take paper to make paper. So I'm speaking from this loose leaf. Damn. I ain't even gotta talk about it. They said you public in the basement, but your songs is private. Bring back the monster, the one that you keep locked in. Shit, I ain't gotta score the points. Look at John Stockton. I put my niggas on just so they can make a profit. But for now, I ain't get up and play that monster in the closet.